And welcome everyone to Fallout Coldfront, a Fallout Modifius 2D20 campaign about these people here trying their best to, I was going to say freeze, but I'd say unify right now is kind of the main goal. Freeze is definitely the end goal.
Freeze the tension.
Some people would like to say
Freeze
that we
our
want to put all
Tension
the
to
wastelands.
freeze the wasteland.
We want to put all the wastelands
We're gonna
problems
freeze.
on ice.
The waste.
Phrase the wasteland.
That's our
There you
slogan.
go.
Freeze the wasteland.
Freeze the
Phrase
wasteland.
the wasteland.
That's it. You heard it in your phone.
What is the wasteland?
We are phrasing the wasteland.
Okay.
Some of these backwood hicks that we have in our party might accidentally write that on a
Is
big
Jules the
billboard.
backer?
Praise the wasteland.
You know those sections in TV shows where they like have everyone in the lineup and they're like asking different questions in the interrogation and it's like all these people's different answers and so you're going through the whole team and you're like, what's your goal? We're gonna freeze the wasteland. What's your goal? We're gonna freeze the wasteland. And then it gets to like Tabs or someone, she's like,
I'm gonna freeze the wasteland.
I think we're gonna freeze the wasteland.
I'm just kind of here though.
Side note, Firefly is the best group interrogation scene I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. That was
Because I
good.
got the whole series at a garage sale
Yes,
on DVD
ma'am.
for $2.
Why can't a friend group not just go get group interrogated whenever they want?
I mean, we could all commit a crime. I don't know.
We need
That's
to
what
have
I'm proposing.
We'd have to all figure out
Anyways.
like what
Yes.
roles we wanted to play in that first stuff.
Speaking of
Arrest
crime,
us.
murder.
Crime. Murder most foul.
Well, actually, not
Poisoning.
quite murder. Because the good doctor here stopped it before it got too bad.
I
Yep.
am a surgeon.
He's looking
What?
very smug about
Checking
it.
your nails? Is that what doctors do when they save lives?
Gotta get the blood
They have to
and
be cleanly.
saliva out from underneath.
That's, I don't know, that's totally fair.
Saliva.
That makes sense.
Where's the
Because she was like
Poisoning.
foaming at the mouth.
Yeah. That's correct.
I was like, what are you doing over there?
I'm so concerned.
It's a poisoning, not a surgery.
You know, because on the one, I was like, why, when healing someone, would you stick your hands in their mouth? And then I was like, oh, this
Poison.
scenario,
Only this.
this one and dentistry are the only ones.
I was about to call you a little weirdo, but no. In this exact case.
You know, the little weirdos are the
Makes sense.
people who are like, dentistry is my calling. It's like, your calling is to stand over someone and be like, whiter, whiter, and stick your hands in their mouth with flavored rubber that still tastes
Anyway.
like Dyers.
Anyway,
So, last session,
Sponsored by a dentist.
you all
Nor will it be.
had a bit of a discussion starting. There was... You all met the person identified as John McMaster, who was in fact Erwin Cortlant, who was kind of here in disguise.
We knew that name was fake.
You did?
Yeah.
Really?
Sorry, John McMaster.
This is the first time you've ever said it, so...
you have to
Yeah.
believe us.
We kept our suspicions to ourselves.
Uh-huh.
Also, there were a lot of names, okay?
I don't remember an inside check. Just saying. Anyways, that happened. Things went pretty well at the opening discussion, if I remember correctly. The Enclave is in a bit of a state of limbo right now. President Martin Purcell has said that, no, I'm not here as the Enclave. I'm here as Orva. We're something different. The Ohio River Valley Association.
And he
Authority,
told
sorry.
No one.
He did not. That was totally on the fly. He did tell you 5 minutes before, or 30 seconds before saying it, you're not going to like this. So there you
Not
go.
enough time for a discussion. Bless you.
No. He's the president, though.
He's also my bratty brother-in-law, so...
Yes.
But he's the executive of a United States that doesn't exist anymore.
And your boss.
I feel like bratty president is just kind of an American tradition. So, works out, I guess. You all, I'm trying to remember what else to bring up that is pertinent. There is a bit of a hanging thread regarding your relationship with the mob. Things are odd. Because in Barnes' eyes, he negotiated that the mob would have a seat at the table of any Enclave decisions about this whole weather thing. And now, with Orva, the Enclave is only going to get one representative on this board that they're proposing. You all tried ironing out the finer details of what exactly that board will be. But it's clear that at least Zinnia isn't a fan of this new proposal, and she will most likely be talking to Barnes about that one.
I think the poisoning was probably the response to that, if I'm being quite honest.
Well, that is something to figure out.
I'm coming into this investigation highly biased.
Yes. So, you all went into the next session of the summit, where Bartholomew the Super Mutant ushered you all in to discuss things. Julian, you suggested we should make this about the factions that don't have as much of a stake in this as Brotherhood versus Enclave.
Well, he was like, give us your counter arguments. And I was like, why are you guys just sitting and listening to all of us prattle on all day? The whole point of this is you know what we think. We want to hear what you think.
Yes.
The person who has the least stake here is Kevin.
Kevin.
He's lost all his stake.
You
Kevin's
just see
just-
Hennig doing like this, the dog smirk, like.
As far as I'm aware, there are 2 crimes here: attempted murder and purloinery of steak. Ramen steak. Anyways,
Purloinery of sirloinery.
I knew it was on there. You just found it. That's so good.
Grand Sirloin. Ugh, I can't say that. I'm not going to try.
Sirloinery.
Anyways, Delroy Trade Lines also thought that it would be just a nice little gesture to give you all fancy lad snack cakes,
color-coded with every faction.
Yep.
It was so
Poison.
friendly.
I'm so mad about that. I've been like hyper vigilant about literally everything, but you said that these
They
were
were
like
sealed.
airtight, sealed.
They are sealed as far as you could tell
They were the
from...
first thing I
before the war.
hadn't been suspicious about, and that's the one.
Yep. That is not the ventilation shafts.
No, I
But
should
the Little
probably check
Debbies.
that again after.
Possibly.
They have snack cakes in them.
No!
So, poison snack cakes. As far as you all figured out, the only ones that were poisoned were the ones for the Union, which only one member actually consumed them, Priscilla James.
Did we investigate the rest of their snack cakes or just hers? We haven't investigated any of them yet.
You have not. Yeah, but quite a few people have taken bites already and would have exhibited symptoms by now.
I thought Margie ate the whole cake.
So only
Tabs was like, "Are you
so
dead?"
only
No.
hers, or did the other
You did?
union members
Oh,
have
not
theirs?
yet.
Did you want to test the other cakes? The other Union cakes?
Taste
Yeah,
test
I
it,
also
taste
I
test
also
it.
wanted to examine the wrappers, starting with her wrapper, and then investigate the other ones. I want to see if it looks like they were opened and then resealed, or if there's any holes in the packaging, like
Yeah.
somebody inserting a syringe or something.
Absolutely. First off, I'm going to describe what all security measures you guys also took, just so that you guys don't repeat anything that happened. You all suggested that every faction go back to their hotel room.
No, we did not.
Yes,
we said
you-
everyone
we
needs to
suggested
stay
it,
in
and
their
then
room.
she said no.
And she said no.
What's
She
that?
said
like,
everybody gets
everyone
searched
stays-
before
You
they're
said
allowed
search
to leave.
first. That's what I was going to say.
Everyone stays here until both them and their rooms have been searched.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
want
true.
to give them the opportunity to go to their room before
No,
their rooms have
yes.
been thoroughly searched.
Sorry, that is what I was going to say. Was you said, but we're going to search their rooms and their persons first.
Okay.
So, that's going to happen. I believe Erwin Cortlant joined you all as John McMaster. And after that, you guys did quiet down everyone, so people are as sensible as they can be. Julian, you also said, please toss what you have out on the table, just to make it easier for a search. Are you all complying with that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Gas mask.
Yep.
Yes, I do know you got that.
Big gun, spear, several knives that actually don't count as weapons.
Missile launcher.
A hand of a creature.
Missiles.
Yeah. All right. Do any of you have poison on you?
No.
No.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure.
That's fair. That's a fair thing.
No, I think I have. I do have jet on me
Okay.
Well, no.
and
That's fine.
Stimpex.
He always has drugs.
Yeah.
Jet is pretty simple. That's not going to get any suspicious glances here.
Can I page Sally and get her to bring a couple more members of the staff up to conduct these searches?
Yep. As you start speaking into that, you would see she herself is actually here
I
now.
have Mentos.
Okay, this is great. This is very juicy. Did you do this?
What?
Oh, sorry. I mean, I'm here to help.
Sally.
Yeah.
Someone has just been nearly killed.
She looks fine.
Sally, were people downstairs betting on whether a poisoning would happen?
Yeah, but they were betting on everything from being blown up with a missile launcher to a death claw breaking in here.
Sally's.
I don't think we can. I don't think we can write off someone from downstairs pulling off the poisoning to try to rig a bet.
I mean, sure.
Can you provide us with a list of everyone who bet on a poisoning?
Yes, I can. I can talk to my bookie about that one.
Yeah, we
But
do have extensive
I would
records.
say, if you want support, we have already divided our guards a little bit with, the party down there and the people up here. So if you want more people up here, that would mean less down there.
We don't need more people up here yet. What we do need is for a couple of people to come and pat down everyone.
Oh, well, you have a couple. There are quite a few. They were serving as waiting staff, but they're also armed. So,
I think they
All right.
oh yeah.
Each delegation, one at a time, can come be pat down here, make sure they don't have anything on their person. Then they can collect the items from the table and head back to their rooms, assuming the searches have been done.
Please exit power armor. It is required to pat you down.
Says Bartholomew.
They're good.
Slaps side of power armor. There's nothing in here.
The power armor opens up to see an entire arsenal of poisonous vials.
Are you complying, Margie?
Yeah.
You've got your gas mask on. Okay. Yep. You step out of it. Courtlant steps out. It's Courtlant. I was gonna say no one but you recognizes him, but he worked here. He was on staff. At that,
She would like that.
Sally would look at Courtlant. What? But, Erwin, what are you doing here? And why did you lie about your identity? These people. He points at you all in general. You wouldn't poison someone, would you? No, I don't think so.
Insight check.
You're welcome to. Please, go for
I'm
it.
doing that too.
Dun, 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 dun.
No.
He's not high up on my list of suspects.
I got nothing.
I got one.
Okay. He seems to be telling the truth. You also already insight checked him last session. Yep.
For this?
Well, Jerry asked him point blank, did you do this?
I
Which
forgot
there's going to
about
be a
that.
lot of that going
I forgot
around,
about
I'm
that
sure.
too.
Yes.
It's just a alias kind of thing. If I wanted to poison someone, I probably wouldn't be in a delegation. Okay, I believe that. And you wouldn't hurt a fly. You're a pacifist anyway.
Jerry's gonna scowl.
Mr. Ulster?
Yes. You see Mr. Ulster come up to you. He's sweating, dabbing his forehead. My company's reputation is on the line here.
Must have been a shock. Are you all right?
What is that supposed to mean?
Did you do it?
No, that is not.
Jerry!
Dr. Fletcher. Mr. Ulster is not a suspect at this point.
I'm going to make a small rule. You may only insight check one suspect one time.
Okay.
So, if you decide to insight check someone,
Okay.
you better have felt like you've asked all the questions that you want to. Just so that you're not like,
Inside.
did you do it? No. Well, where were you? And then inside checking that and inside checking
Yeah.
that. And it does increase your odds of figuring something out there.
Okay.
Just wanted to make sure you were okay.
Oh, did you want to use your insight check here? This would be
No,
a collective party
I'll
one.
wait. I'll wait.
Okay. Sorry, say that again?
Just wanted to make sure you were okay.
Well, I took a bite, but as far as I'm aware, that wasn't poisoned. Listen, anything you need in this investigation, let me know. This
Where did
is
you-
incredibly important for
Where's-
DTL.
Where did you get those, and how were they transported?
Bovine. How they were transported. Clarabelle. Buster Van Ruben's Brahmin. All of these were kept in a warehouse back in Lansing.
And did you have the color coordination pre-planned?
Yes, that was the idea. We only packed what we needed.
Who all knew about the color coding?
It was a mistake on my part, but I figured it would assist Xanadu staff. Anyone that would have had access to them. They were labeled.
We need to check all of the packaging, see if all of that color are poison or if it's just one. That might help us determine how recently it was poisoned.
Doctor, could
yes.
you lead the investigation of the physical materials, the cakes, and the packaging?
All right.
And if you need a lie detector, I never leave home
That
without
was what I was
it.
going to ask.
Of course.
Sally,
If we do the lie detector, it would probably be for the best that we do it to you as well.
Absolutely. I'm here to comply with anything you all might do, as long as you all will comply with it as well.
of course. Now, Sally, do you have somewhere we could set up as an interrogation room?
Oh, of course. Why don't you set up in
Somewhere you don't have a camera,
why? Why not?
because I don't want you betting on it.
What camera?
But don't you want proof?
We can set up our own cameras.
Really? You happen to bring cameras with you?
I'm sure you'd be happy to lend us the equipment.
I'm sure
Only
you'd like
because-
a personal video
I mean,
of
we
your
can-
own viewing
We can
experience.
do simple audio recordings on our Pit Boys.
That would be fine too.
That would suffice.
That's true. At about this time, you would see a couple figures from other different factions come up, kind of demanding representation on this investigation. First of which would be Conductor Wenton of the Union, the slighted party here. You'd also see Bull Fraser, which I am so sad that his name has appeared somewhere else, and Bartholomew himself, who is kind of here to represent Xanadu here.
Now hold on. This is concerning that you all are heading this investigation, especially considering one of you has an office with the Enclave. Such an action might be perceived as undue bias.
We can choose a different interrogator from an unbiased party if you would prefer. We will all submit to the same interrogation as anyone else.
We have an unbiased party. We have independents here. And Polis. Doctor, you are an independent. You are also a doctor.
Yes.
Would you say you have the trust of most of the factions here? As an unbiased source.
He fired a bazooka at everyone.
Well, here's the thing. I fired a bazooka at the mob, and then I got them to, forgive me for it. So, the only
Oh
ones
yes,
that,
your bounty was rescinded.
yes. So, the only one that would possibly object would be the Brotherhood. Everyone else, I think, would be fine. You can ask. We can take a vote on it from the other faction leaders.
It's a bad idea to get a vote involved right here. Well, we have enough representation here. It's all about who will lead and represent this investigation.
Another thought. We could have one member from each of the two major opposing parties be in on the interrogations.
That makes sense. That will work. If that works with you.
And he kind of says this to everyone who has kind of stepped up here. And most agree with it. Courtlant would say, Brotherhood will comply with any investigation you all are running. We're here for it.
All right.
I'm gonna go look at the packaging and see if the other cakes are poisoned at all.
We'll go
Are
through
there
it
any
also.
capabilities you will need that you don't have access to? Lab
I'm gonna
equipment?
need lab equipment, see what kind of poison it was, and if I can see what kind of poison it was, that can tell me the shelf life, and see possibly how recently the poison was administered. That would be a good start.
Also, I say this more in confidentiality. I think we should check the lethality of the dose. From what I remember of the medical things, it seemed. I don't know. I feel like
Like it was meant to scare, not to kill.
yeah.
Is anybody drinking anything as well?
Yes, there are quite a few drinks out.
I'd like to also investigate the drinks. It may not have been the cakes.
Okay.
A drink would allow more specific targeting.
Or like somebody walked by.
Have there been any results from the searches of the rooms yet? Anything turned up, Sally?
Yeah. I'm just trying to think of the timing to actually have these things announced. You would see a waiter approach Sally and just whisper something in her ear. You can share it with everyone. They're running the investigation. Oh, okay. Nothing on the tables. But we found something in, the mob's room.
What is something?
everything. And you would see as this guy pulls out a briefcase from behind him, and you would hear,
Hey, hold on a second. That's mine. What are you doing with that?
as Barnes would walk up, and he is just going to try and snatch the briefcase.
I'd like to stop him.
All right. Go ahead and assist. It'll be Gene the waiter who is running the rain
Gene.
contest, but you may support.
Gene.
This is a strength athletics check.
Oh.
I will also allow unarmed.
There's no way to kind of talk him down.
He's just trying this. I apologize.
Oh, actually, 2 successes.
2 successes.
All the
Okay.
adrenaline is kicking in.
Oh,
now.
you know, I'm sorry. I rolled 2. I didn't assist. I should re-roll that.
Okay, I appreciate that. Well, Gene got 2 successes.
Yeah, so that's nothing from me in that case.
Nothing. 2 successes from Gene and Mr. Barnes.
It all falls apart.
That is 3 successes from Barnes. So you try and get it in Barnes's way, and just takes an arm and just shoves you to the side.
Mr. Franklin, I
Yes.
thought you said you were going to cooperate with this investigation. Do you have something to hide in that briefcase?
Oh, well, obviously.
This is a bad look in front of the entire room here.
This is my private property right here.
Yeah,
Yes.
private property you may have used to poison someone. I think it'd
You
be
took
better.
this from my room. I was fine
We
with a
all
search.
agreed to have a search for our rooms.
Oh, I missed that part. I didn't know that.
Yeah, maybe you should have listened then.
Well, fine. It's just my underwear in there, though.
Then
Then hand it
that
back.
is not a problem.
Fine.
If it would make
And he
you
would
more
hand-
comfortable, we can just have the men look.
I have my.
Just open the case.
It's full of my little.
He's
ponies.
just holding it out. Who's taking it?
Wold will take it.
Okay.
What? Who are you?
I won't.
He's with me. I'm sure he's gonna try to take it away from Wold.
You can take it.
I don't think he's... Barnes has not met you. I don't,
I don't
believe.
think so.
Yeah.
Also, he doesn't know them anything. Yeah.
What's in the briefcase?
You open it, and it looks like a candy store for a chem dealer. There are just about any chem you could possibly imagine. There are also around 13 syringes with... They're labeled with masking tape. Poison 1, Poison 2, Poison 3, 4, 5, all the way down to 13.
Do any of them look like they've been like slightly emptied compared to the others?
Ah, yeah. Go ahead and roll a perception science check.
Your underwear, huh?
Well, it's my private property.
3 successes.
Hey, you all of the government. You're supposed to, you don't got a warrant for this.
Actually, the president
Wold
just stepped
looks
down.
at this, looks at them, and says, "I would, as the fact that I'm standing in for a medical advisor, I'd advise
Who
you to not,
are you?
I won't. I would advise you
That
not to
doesn't
wear
help
this.
me.
I would advise you to not wear this as underwear."
3 successes.
3 successes?
Barnes is like,
Not
don't
really.
T-shirt.
It looks like they're all on a similar-ish fluid level. It looks like these poisons were not like all measured out accurately to like the same amount. So there are some different, but
But
Do I
it
know
seems
the
like you maybe put-
the approximate doses necessary to cause the reaction that she had? Like, would it be
Yeah.
a noticeable amount for a syringe to be emptied, or does it look like, it could have been a very subtle amount that we wouldn't be able to detect by eye?
it would probably be a subtle amount. Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead and get 1 action point back.
I'm gonna have to hold on to these and compare them to what was in the food.
Okay, well, I want it back. That's my stuff.
Yeah, you'll get them back. I just need a small sample of each one to compare.
Questioning the judgment bringing a briefcase like that to a peace summit.
Your doctor has a rocket launcher.
Yeah, I'm just
Does
a
he
little
have it
more.
on him?
Yeah.
Hold on a second. That's our rocket launcher, isn't it?
Margie holds up a blackboard, point to Barnes.
No, actually, no. The one that you gave me was on the other.
That's right. That was on the fake Pete body. Yep.
Yeah.
Where did you get this one from?
I bought it at the market right before I got into the rock paper scissors duel.
Oh
right.
gosh,
You did.
that's why I don't remember this. But remember
went to the
having a rocket
store.
launcher.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I guess we did recover that. All right, fine.
Anything else found in the rooms?
That would be it. You know, quite a few armaments, but no poison as far as we can tell.
Nothing else unexpected, sure.
All right, I wouldn't take this as conclusive evidence yet, just because. Yeah, I would have been surprised if we didn't find something in the mob's room.
It'll be a fine way to apply pressure.
Hey, hold on, one more thing.
Barnes butts in rather impolitely.
I see a lot of representation here. Where's mine?
We can talk about who's going to lead the investigation. There have been 2 ideas, one of which is the doctor will do the medical examination and one member from
No,
the...
you're not unbiased. You took a pot shot at us. I put a bounty on you.
And then we made up.
And you know, this kind of seems like your kind of work, honestly, he says as he raises his voice. You've got beef with me. This is a perfect frame job that you all did on us.
Please don't threaten us when you have 30 poisons here, and don't speak louder because there is a whole room. As I say, as I also do this.
Okay,
I'm not
okay.
Yeah.
All right. We can have somebody work with me on the medical aspect. We also need somebody to work with interrogations. We also need. What other things do we need?
As long as Sally can provide someone to keep a watch outside of everyone's room, I think that should be it.
The super mutant can be the unbiased overseer person, make sure everything's fair.
Indeed.
Does that work? Does that work, Franklin?
Yeah, that's fine. But you make sure you hook up that crazy doc to the machine.
He can go first.
That would be good for asserting your credibility.
Sure, let's do it.
Mr. Ulster, how long will you need to set up the machine?
Oh, it's rather portable. Just tell me where to go.
Sally, you got a room?
Go to the jazz lounge. Nice and quiet there. No one in
Alright.
there right now.
Okay. Who's
Secure?
gonna? Who's gonna be sitting in on the interrogations?
I would like to, says Cortland.
And I'll go ahead and match that from the other side.
At this, you get a little, and me too, from some of the other factions. Wenton would say so, union representation. Bull Frazier would say, I think you got this one, Julia.
She'd raise an eyebrow but wouldn't say anything. It's like a slight twitch.
That is actually it. That's who's here. That's the representation. No mob representation. So just Wenton. Yeah, that's it.
I
I'd like
would-
to be in on this so that I can see, well, as the slighted party, how this investigation is handled.
I understand that, but at the same time, I think an interview with 3-on-1 might be a little intimidating.
Look, can we set up a camera and just have?
Or send live transcripts to all parties.
We can do a live audio,
Make sure that you guys are
so that way
overseeing.
everyone. Or we
I would caution that, especially considering if it's in real time, a revelation might prove
I see your point.
belligerent. Might start a fight.
I recognize your right for involvement, and I don't think that either Cortland nor I would like to step down either.
I'm fine with 3-on-1. Bring it on.
I will. Doctor. Madam Secretary. As far as I'm aware, the Union still owes you something. I trust you all with this investigation.
What do they owe us for?
Getting the
No,
bodies.
we
I think.
provided Benton.
Yeah, this is
They told me.
long time ago, like 30 episodes ago. Yeah.
And we'll go ahead and prove ourselves worthy of that trust. We won't send out a live transcript of every interview to every party, but we will send them to you.
All right. I'll be waiting.
All right. Sally, Mr. Ulster, Doctor, we'll head this way. Sally, if you can have your representatives search all parties involved, the doctor and myself included, before we leave, then bring them back to their rooms. That would be helpful.
Bartholomew? And you would see Bartholomew walk up to both of you all.
I will search you.
Try not to squish me.
I will try very hard.
He says as he pats you down. Do you have anything hidden on you? Get the cane sword.
He's just handing that. He's just setting that aside.
Okay. Yeah. Anything else on you?
He's got a knife, his missile launcher with missiles, stim pack, and jet,
Okay.
and his gas mask.
Are you trying to hide anything?
No.
Okay. Yeah. I need to find that. And nothing concerning there. And are you hiding anything, Julian?
No, I've already put everything on the table.
Okay. I will not do a check then. He just searches you and does not find anything.
All right. Let's go ahead and get the polygraph set up. I know how to manually operate it from our first experience.
Ulster would hand you a large briefcase with a few wires spilling out of it.
Thank
You've worked
you.
this thing before.
We gotta put you on it, Julian. I've got all kinds of questions I've been wanting to ask.
He's like, so are you and Nico dating? How long have you been dating? Who made the first move?
Dr. Fletcher,
Went
something's
and getting
telling
the
me this isn't
transcript.
going to be.
What is this?
Something's
Another
telling me
time.
this isn't going to be related to the investigation.
No, it'll be another time.
I don't think it
telling
will.
you, Jerry reads paperback romances when no one's looking.
I don't think it will, Doctor. She's gonna start walking off towards the jazz lounge.
Real quick, just because I said we'll do this later, but want to make sure it is remembered. You said you wanted to take a look at the packaging.
I want to do that before we do this. Just I want to look and see if it looks like the packaging has been tampered with in any way.
Absolutely.
And then if hers looks like it has, I want to check the other packaging, see if there's any similar
Okay.
tampering.
Yeah.
I would like to assist.
Okay. That is well needed. This is a difficulty of 5.
Oh,
Okay. Well, I will use one of these. That's perception in science.
how confident do you feel about it?
I think I can get at least 3 successes on my own.
Do you have
If
luck?
someone else has a
I do
tag
have
for
4
science,
points.
Okay.
You don't have
I will
so.
say only one person assisting on this.
I am tagged with science, so
well, I'm saying if someone who assists wants to tag with science, do you guys?
Oh,
I don't think I have a tag science.
I could. I've got perception 9, science 6, so it'd be a 15.
Okay.
Science 6.
Would you
Yeah.
prefer I do that?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so.
Okay.
We'll remind about the poison power also, but that might be a separate check
Yeah.
because we're just doing perception.
what'd you get?
A 19.
Okay.
This is my fault for not pre-rolling. Give me a second here.
That was definitely the reason.
I'm gonna figure out which of my
There
dice
will
I'm
be
gonna
partial
use today.
successes
Oh,
on
that
this. There will be
one
information
tab.
you glean from even...
Okay.
Actually,
I will
few of
use
those might
one
break.
luck point to
Shut up.
re-roll 1.
Gotta do some kind of ritual with these.
Okay, I got 4 successes by myself.
4 successes.
Can you like unjinx these?
Okay.
Can you use a luck to reroll yours? Well, this might
Try.
not be. I feel like it's important because it was very high. Do you have a luck to
I
reroll it?
don't think I do. I think I used them all last time.
Ah,
Okay.
that's what I should have done. Anyway,
All right. You do still get some information from that. Looking at the wrappers, probably the biggest thing you were looking for is a very small puncture. Especially if you're doing poisoning, just a small needle just poked right in. Similar to the ones that Barnes had would be probably the best way of doing this. There is not any that you see.
Does because the other way to do it would be to kind of like open
that
the
smell
end
brewed.
and then reseal it afterwards. Does the end look different from the other wrappers?
No.
Okay.
Put the one on top as kind of a conduit here.
Okay.
That'll look forever.
It's a slow.
I'm gonna go do my interview really quick. Nobody touch anything on here. Nobody touch the drinks either.
can I?
Have
Good
you-
for me.
He's gonna ask the patient. Have you had anything else to eat or drink here?
No, that's the first thing that I tried here.
There you go.
Did you have
That's it.
anything
Luck
to drink?
generator.
Yeah, just a little water. That's it.
Did you?
All right, leave your drink. Leave your drink there.
All right. Thank you for the help, Doctor.
Oh yeah, don't mention it.
Julian, bon chance.
Feel better soon.
Yeah.
Go get some rest.
she Polis?
She is. No. I need to be ready to slap whoever did this to me.
Oh, don't worry. I'll make sure you're the first one who gets a chance.
Thank you much. Winton's gonna keep me apprised.
All right, Doc, you ready?
Yep.
Jacob, you mentioned wanting to do just a check on the lethality of the poison.
Yes, he would probably, Wold would check, because Jerry just said don't touch anything. He would probably check if he could.
Well, here's the thing. You all did a check on this. I kind of included this as part of the Save Priscilla check.
Okay.
So I just kind of want to reiterate that information there. And that is that the poison would have killed her, but slowly. If she received medical attention, she probably would have been fine. But it was still, you should still consider it a lethal poison.
How, so is slowly
About an hour.
about an hour, and she was foaming at the mouth.
Yes.
So it wasn't intended.
So it was not
necessarily
intended to kill her, is what Wold would pull from that. If it takes an hour and she's foaming, that's not like a.
It was a very, because otherwise, if you wanted to kill somebody secretly, you could do it so that they would die like a day or two afterwards, or they would just and die.
I'm not saying
immediately.
that it's good that we got to her because it
Yeah.
can cause damage. But
Could be a shoddy job as
It
well.
could be.
so we have those two things. Shoddy job. So that could mean A, shoddy job of people don't know
Or
what
B,
they're
somebody-
doing,
or
or B,
someone's
it's
trying to
a-
derail everything.
Yeah. So
All right.
those are two ideas.
So Jerry's going first. You all make your way into the jazz lounge. Hook up his wrists to the polygraph.
Cortland, considering the doctor and I are relatively affiliated, I think it would be best if you led this investigation.
Happily. Would you mind monitoring the polygraph and letting me know anything that's going on?
I'd be happy to, and I think you should check my work after just to be safe.
Happily. Dr. Jerry Fletcher, is that your name?
Yep.
Yep.
How old are you, Doc? I say with a smirk,
No.
remembering how we lied on this question in the first episode.
Wait, how old did he say he was?
You said he was like in his 50s or 60s.
Oh,
He's what,
Immediately
39?
registered as a lie.
I'd be 37 now.
Okay. Cortland looks to you.
Well, what did he
Is that
say?
The truth?
37.
37.
That's right.
When is the last time you spoke with Pete?
How long ago was it? It
Oh,
was
boy.
in the jail cell. I forget.
Correct,
how many-
it was in the
passage
enclave.
of passage
It would have
of
been a
time.
couple of weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jerry would say exactly how many days it was.
Cortland was in the cell with you when his head exploded, so. Okay, well, I guess that's a little bit of a baseline there. When did you quit Delroy Trade Lines?
It was kind of a gradual process, less of a. It's more like we weren't getting paid,
Mm-hmm.
and they thought we weren't. It was complicated. I don't remember.
Okay. That's understandable. But you're still on familiar terms with them and their processes, right?
Fairly so.
Okay. When was the last time you were in Lansing? This would have been right before the summit.
Yeah, right before the summit.
Really? Did you... How long did you spend there? It was probably 2 hours. Sorry, I'm answering all these questions for you.
A couple hours.
And while you were there, did you access Delroy Trade Lines supplies?
I accessed the break room fridge.
Did you access their supplies for this summit?
No.
I'd like to note that both the rest of the group that we've been traveling with and likely Delroy Trade Lines cameras can back up what he's saying. Polygraph reads it as true.
I didn't know DTL had cameras.
I'm assuming
Fancy.
they do, don't they? You know what? Wait, I work on
Slam.
their tech systems. So I would know this. They
Live-
have to, right?
Well, live feed cameras are about the size of like TV station cameras right now.
That's old world technology.
Gross,
Correct.
man.
So while Sally has cameras set up, they are gigantic. They're big.
Okay.
You can't really have security cameras.
I presume the reading is true on that one.
Yes. When you, if we decide to interview the rest of the group, you can ask them the same questions, see if their answers line up. We'll make sure the doctor doesn't have contact with them again until they've had their own turn.
Please do. Dr. Fletcher, did you leave the interior of Xanadu any time within the last week? Or however long you've been in the building?
I went to the rooftop.
Right. With me, let the record state. You never, ever left the building and went to, say, the stables?
They have those?
Sure
No,
do.
I didn't.
There's an old horse race track outside. That's where Clarabelle is parked.
Is that a horse or a helicopter?
Ramen.
It's Buster's ramen.
That's what the snack cakes
Okay.
were in, like the pack.
Yeah, yeah.
Salad
No,
bags.
I've not been out there.
How do you feel about the Midwestern Rail Union?
Well, I was a little annoyed the first time I met them.
Chem rule?
What was that?
Chem rule?
Yes.
Okay. Well, might as well be worth a shot. Did you poison Priscilla James?
No.
Looks to be true.
Go ahead and roll a persuasion check. This will be non-action
Can I-
point generating.
Please.
It's non-action point
You
generated.
know what? He already did this. I have imposed the rule of no insight checks or one insight checks per person. He already did one on you.
He's
Forget
also
about
hooked
it.
up to
Okay.
an insight check.
What's that?
He's hooked up to an insight check.
Correct. I'm satisfied. There's no motive, means, or opportunity for Dr. Fletcher to have committed this crime.
Doctor, can you go find... Can you go ask the Brotherhood who they would like to shadow you as you're doing your work, and then go analyze the samples?
Okay.
I'd be happy to do that.
I mean, would you trust me to do the interrogations alone?
I'd prefer to be on the sciencey side, but I guess that's this too. I'll go get Jonas. He'll handle the interrogations.
All right. I would like to page Sally while I'm waiting for that. Sally, just out of another angle we might want to pull. Can you show the rest of my team the footage that you've gathered from the, or for your betting?
Sure thing. Good idea. Hey, Tabitha and
Yes, ma'am.
Margie. You want to take a look at this footage?
Sure.
She would take you all up to one of the hotel rooms balconies.
Is
that
Wold
has...
still there as well?
Oh, yes. Sorry. My bad. Yep. She would invite Wold as well. And take you up to essentially where the camera was, which I thought would have had a viewfinder, but no. This is the 50s. They would take the film and take it to probably... Man, where would they project things? They'd probably have a
I feel like
projector.
they would have a room somewhere for a projector just because it feels like a Xanadu thing.
Yes.
So just like rewatch.
See, the best places to put it would be either the jazz lounge or the bowling alley, and both those are occupied right now. There would also be probably a smaller, probably adjacent to a dark room, maybe a tiny little theater or something like that, where they would show the footage. In it, you would see, I guess, the life story of this Fancy Lad Snack Cakes while they are in the... oh boy, what's the official name of it? Blood Springs, I believe, where the summit is actually located. You would see the waiter identified as Gene take them into the room from the kitchen and hand them out individually. That's pretty much all you're going to get from this, unfortunately. But You know, if you want to follow the path of the snack cakes, Gene is your man.
Okay.
He is also the person showing you the footage right now.
That's convenient.
Yep, that's me. And yep, that's me.
Yeah. Gene, where did you fight the snack cakes? In the kitchen, obviously, but like located where?
They were on the counter where we normally serve up our dishes.
Okay.
I think DTL had set them up there.
Okay.
I was instructed by Mr. Ulster.
Okay. Right. Check that. This is maybe Wold. Does it look like he's like when he's putting out the snack cakes? Is he like very like do with it, or is it just like do? You know, like does it look like
Insight.
he has a yeah?
This is your one insight check for Gene.
Well, I can't insight
only
this
one?
at all.
Yep, that's the rule.
So we don't take advantage of the insight checks.
Because here's one thing that D&D players don't like to hear. You can figure things out without insight checks.
Yes.
You don't need them to detect lies. You can use facts and
Well,
evidence.
But I'm not going to use that because I'll figure this out.
Facts
It looks
and
like he's
evidence
doing his
and
job.
Extreme bias.
What's that?
You can use facts and evidence and extreme bias towards the mob.
Yes.
Yes.
No. This is a
I
this is
think
a
it was
detective
the-
story. You can call it your gut.
I'm gonna say it. I think it was yeah.
I don't know. I think it was the Brotherhood.
I thought it was the mob up until he brought out the case full of poisons, and I was like, okay, now it's
This
just
feels like
too
a red
obvious.
herring.
All right. We'll do the same.
So
Okay.
it could be a double back.
Good. I want the footage of the main hall early as it can be. I want to know who went into the kitchen, or at least this. I want to know who was seen throughout the night, throughout the time that we've met, who didn't go. Also, can I get a list of guests?
Sure.
So I think Wold's gonna start if he gets this, he's gonna start going through and being like, okay, this person like was in their room or they left. Like there was never a time where they left and could have went around to where the kitchen was.
Are you doing a conspiracy board style thing?
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna help, like, as he's saying things, like moving pins and like tying the string.
I think they like he like starts doing things like yeah and like he's like doing both, like he's looking at a thing and looking at the footage, and then you start doing it and he starts just calling out people and like
I sent you the guest list.
okay.
So here's the difficulty. Technically, from the opening statement session, the prologue of this summit, there was a time in between. That's when you guys went up to the roof to talk with Courtland. The kitchen has multiple entrances, and only one of them from the main hall is covered. You would see waiting staff every once in a while go in, but you wouldn't see any of the main summit members go into the kitchen.
Okay.
Is there anything else you're looking for with the footage?
Um,
I sent you the guest list.
Cool. Yes. It's,
Yeah.
it's done. Yeah. So I think the thing Wold is looking for, which sounds like is he's just looking like, okay, does it look like the people who physically did it, not necessarily like the organization, the people who physically did it, would not have been the. Would there have been time for people who are the people who are participating, the guest list? Would there have been time for them to like leave their room, go to where the kitchen is, and do that? Okay.
Absolutely. There was about an hour and a half of break.
Okay, so there's
So.
that right there. Okay.
I think as he's going over the guest list, I'm gonna ask Gene, do you have a wait staff list?
Yeah, sure. I think I can get that for you. We don't really have an HR department, though. So can I just list you everyone that I know?
Sure.
Okay. So,
And then
I'm just
someone
gonna
that
try to
we could go
remember.
to get a bigger list if we need to.
okay.
He would give you a very long list of around a baker's dozen of waiting staff that are on duty right now. I gotta be honest, that's not something I prepared, but it is a good question to ask
Does
because
he,
they had
does he
access to the
recognize
kitchen.
all of the ones in the video? Can he name them all?
Yes, yeah, he would. Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll a perception check, one of you.
Okay. Also, can Wold send this list to the group chat?
Sure. Yep.
Hitting up the GC.
I have the list here.
What kind of
Need
perception
for-
check is it?
This will be perception, survival, or speech. You cannot use animals to decrease.
I have a pretty
Perception
good perception
survival.
survival.
Yep.
What's yours?
The tabs would be the one to go to.
So, perception survival.
Mine's a 13.
I know that Wold has some pluses for perception survival, but I don't think it would apply in this case since he's not doing what
No,
we're talking
this
about.
will not apply. You're looking at a screen right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think Wold probably wouldn't be great at.
This would be literally impossible for Wold to do.
Yes. So Wold would actually say, "I can't see. You go."
What?
I think we switch attribute jobs. You're watching the screen and he's putting the names on the board.
Can you not watch the screen?
I can't watch the screen.
It's kind of just heat.
What?
RG, I'll talk about it later. Can you? This is a sensitive moment for me. Can you just watch the screen? I'll talk about it later. I can't see colors, basically, and other things. Anyway,
Colors and other things.
He's legally blind.
Canadians.
4 successes.
4 successes.
Yeah.
Okay.
so, well, you're stereotypical
Wow.
of all Canadians, right? Well, pretty sure.
Go ahead and get 2 action points back for that.
Oh.
One thing you might be suspecting, Margie, is you probably were expecting this given the lists of the waiters. Someone dressing up as staff and sneaking into the kitchen.
Oh, Coke.
And so you are careful to put names to faces with everyone that Gene is talking you through. And you watch through the entire footage and can name every single person that you see on here heading into the kitchen. You don't see anyone that is impersonating waiting staff.
So if
Not as
someone-
much a clue, more than a closed loop or a closed thread, but still useful.
Okay.
Now, that's not to say that the actual wait staff weren't bribed by someone to help.
That is true.
Are any of them acting like they have interesting, like, crushes on each other or, like, interactions with somebody that they shouldn't or, like,
Can I say he did
just,
get
like, suspicious
+2
social
to
activity
those,
that's like,
so-
you're not acting like a waiter right now?
Yeah.
Like,
Including maybe if any of them interacted with any of the guests or anything like that.
You do see, you find it a little odd in all the footage of kind of the time in between the sessions. There is one guy who Gene would just point out as, oh, that's Clint. Yeah, and there's Clint again. That's Clint. And then you don't see Clint for another hour or so. And then, yep, that's Clint. And that's Clint right there.
Does
Kind of pops back.
does Clint take long bathroom breaks or anything?
Am I supposed to know that?
Well, I mean, if he took like an hour-long bathroom break often, I think you would know.
I can guarantee that I, at previous jobs, keep track of people that take really long.
Yeah.
Mainly because
At
you're
my
like,
job,
where
we
are
have
you
a
and why are
list
you not helping
of the
me right
people
now?
that do this.
Sure.
Oh dear.
Like, I had a coworker, or actually, he's the manager that would take hour-long bathroom breaks. So we were like, dude, we need your help out here.
People
You
sometimes
definitely
do
on your
time
phone.
them.
Oh yeah.
Time them to see who has the
Totally not
record.
salty about it.
I don't think so. When Clint comes back on screen, you see he looks a little disheveled and kind of tired. And you know what, I'm just going to call it. With 4 successes, you can see there's just a slight redness to his eyes, mellowness to his actions.
Does,
He's high.
does he
That's what I've
do
settled it.
Yeah.
any kind of chems? Typically,
What's your name?
Margie?
Margie, this is Xanadu.
Oh.
Everyone's kind of taking.
It's like, yeah, who doesn't?
Does he have money for that? Or would he need to rely on some kind of weird deals to get a fix?
It's not a weird deal. It's part of our pay.
You get Alan.
Okay.
Anyway.
Most of us don't do it well on the job, though. But
Does it take an hour to get high off of chems?
you can get high in a moment, man. Some of them, like Day Tripper, might last a little longer.
So Do you suppose he was just high in a closet, or?
He squints at the screen, and you're 100% certain this is a man who is high. Yeah, maybe he went to the roof or something, or just outside, or anywhere else.
We were on the roof.
That's right, you were.
That's why.
Yeah,
That's
During
why I
that
said
time?
yeah, part of it at least.
So we're like confronting.
But he could
Crowbar,
literally
"You
be
killed
anywhere
Frankie."
else.
Meanwhile,
Behind
the one guy.
the-
Like,
behind like the van. Just like, what's happened?
Yep.
All right.
Might be worthwhile to get Clint in the rotation to be interrogated.
Oh, well, aren't you guys running the interrogation?
Yep.
Why are you telling me?
I'm gonna go over.
That was rhetorical.
I'm gonna go over and be like, we should interrogate Clint from the waitstaff.
Wait, like into the interrogation room?
You can message them on the Pip
Yeah,
Boys.
sure.
Group text.
And then I'll be like,
Can I say
he
who's
either
Clint?
got high. Waitstaff either got high in the closet or else did something suspicious.
Curious response. Oh, that Clint.
What?
He's like, no, he's just like satire.
I know exactly who you're
There's
talking
always
about.
a Clint who gets high in the closet.
Yeah.
yeah, who's your workplace's Clint? Shout it out.
As soon as you
Clint?
said
Who's
Clint,
Clint's
that
the guy
was the
high in
vibes I
closet?
got.
Oh, that Clint.
So the little
I know
dots
that
like
Clint.
pop up and then disappear and then pop up and
No.
then disappear and then finally the Pip
This
Boys.
is not iMessage. This is a
No, it's gotta
retro
be.
futuristic 50s technology.
Well, but they could.
And I
figured out
hate
how to
it.
send little dots.
And I also don't have a Pip Boy, so we would have been using
Oh.
wolves
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah, you're.
So all you're getting are the little boxes instead of emojis.
He's holding out his Pip Boy, and I'm like typing on it.
You'll have to scoot in close to type in it.
It's actually terrible. Pip Boys
Will
don't come with
just blushing.
keyboards, so you have to use a single wheel to select which letter you want and then click it.
Oh,
So it's just like
Gross.
A.
Yeah, you get
T.
fast on that.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
So in that case, the response just comes back. He's on the list.
Response comes back K.
All right.
Bigger
So,
fish to fry.
Do you all have anything else related to the footage that you would like to review?
Let's see. So we did that. Thing. Everyone is still on the list. I don't think so. Keep this in case we need it.
Okay. Jerry. So you are going with Cortlant, who would have sent Jonas Abercorn back to your room.
I like that guy.
Yeah. And
For Brotherhood.
Cortland would join you for testing these things. You guys didn't happen to bring the van, did you?
No, what happened to the van?
I think it's in Chicago.
We left it in Chicago.
It is in
in an
Chicago.
alley.
No, the-
Dude, where's my van? Ooh, you left a car in Chicago? Bye, van.
Yeah.
Even now,
Oh yeah, Sergeant Corporal's dead.
Yeah.
been dead.
I
for a
know.
while.
We left him
now.
to guard it before, but
Okay, he kidnapped River.
yeah.
Actually, you know what? You know, I did forget to ask. What happened to Sergeant Corporal?
He went down in a blaze of
Purple
glory.
Heart.
Good for him. He always wanted that.
This is the
Don't
one
we
thing
still have
he
his
always
memory
wanted.
chips so we could do like a Baymax?
I
movie
do.
with the
Yes.
You do?
100%. Yeah.
We do.
We should.
Oh,
Give him no guns this time.
could I ask
Somebody who
who
can
he
actually
was
draw should
fighting?
make Sergeant Corporal like saying Happy 4th of July for 4th of July.
Random,
and, like,
random wastelanders. He went and blew himself up to kill them. It didn't
Just like
work.
Raiders or something?
I think so.
Oh.
Canadians.
Oh. Yeah, he told me that's how he wanted to go.
like he's not
I want to go killing Canadians.
He is
In
obnoxiously
Minecraft.
American.
We love
so
Canadians.
He's
In Minecraft.
obnoxiously American, so
All right, we should take a sample of each of the cakes.
And perhaps a sample of each of the poisons from the
Yes.
conspicuous
do a
briefcase.
matchy girl.
First, I want to see what poison was used, how the poison was administered, whether it was through a cake or through a drink or.
Here's the question. There are chems to buy here at Xanadu, but there's not a chem lab. I don't think anyone has a laboratory available right now. I think I
There
might
was
just
one in the
register
van.
that as something correct.
Are we
Uh,
breaking
Not the
that
meth
again?
mobile.
something
brought a
that
rolling
just
meth
might
lab to
increase
the
the
airport?
difficulty of the check, but it is going to be hard.
There's no microscopes or.
We could breaking bad this.
Okay.
There's a that's a
has
chem
Pip
lab.
tongue.
They don't even have graduated cylinders.
We could have Pip
Jerry's-
taste each poison and be like, "Hey, is this the same
Jerry
one?"
has a small. It's not a.
That's a brilliant idea.
Actually, that's good. Margie,
Because
that's a
he's
great
like- he's
idea.
a
We should do
robot, so
that.
he's not gonna have like
Pip
the
tongue.
bias of human.
Pip tongue.
Pip
no,
could
you guys
taste
are
it.
totally right. Pip has
And
a
he-
built-in
like-
chemical
and he can-
analyzer.
and
and he
tell-
would not be able to
Pip-
die.
He'll be like,
Okay.
So
You can at least tell it's the
it's
same.
the dumbest solution, but it
Pip
is
for
actually.
Yeah. No, it works.
Margie,
Pip
that's a good
tongue
idea.
finally come in
Margie.
clutch.
Margie, get a luck point.
Oh, thank you.
I know you're not present, but I do think this is
Yeah.
given that we spend weeks away from these characters and these characters are in their own minds 24/7. I feel like this is something that Jerry would be like, I don't have lab equipment. If only I had a
Pip
chemical
tongue.
analyzer. Yeah, I've
Jerry-
invented something.
Portable Pip,
Jerry,
portable
this isn't a
chemical
full lab,
analyzer
but Jerry
attached to an
also does have,
AI.
like a mini chemistry
Guys,
cell
when
that he
Rachel
carries
comes in,
around
we have
with
to
it-
all
that he
look at
carries
her
around
and
in his
say Pip
luggage.
tongue is now plot relevant.
So
It is.
it's not a full
Plot relevant.
like lab setup, but it's enough to do like, high school level chemistry.
Yeah. I'm actually going to say Pip Tongue is going to decrease the difficulty of the check by 1.
Isn't it so funny that
Pip.
like Pip tongue was just literally like a joke, and now it's like extremely relevant.
That's
to the
important.
plot?
Hey, Pip.
Yeah. What can I help you with?
Do you think you could use your proboscis to help us analyze the poisons?
Oh, absolutely. Of course, I could break up its chemical makeup, compare it. There's probably a lot of sugar in the cakes, though, so that'll be nice, and I won't get poisoned.
Yep.
Let me try.
Aw.
Try the cakes and also
the
try her
poison.
drink.
Cake's
See if
good.
see if there's poison in either one.
Okay.
Is there a check that we
Where
have to
is
make?
the
or-
Pip proboscis contained?
Pip.
No,
No,
it's
we-
something you attach to Pip.
Yeah,
okay.
it's like
because
an
I just
attachable-
realized he lives in everybody's pit poison.
It's like-
correct.
And I was like,
Yeah.
wait,
It's a
you're just
peripheral.
gonna,
Either
like-
Jerry or Jules would have been carrying it around.
Yeah.
I see.
Yep.
I
And
was
for
like,
the
does he
sake
just
of
pop out of the pit boy
Yeah.
like meow?
for the sake of
Pip's tongue
simplicity,
is disembodied
you can quickly
most
get
of
it.
the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you doing the cakes or the water first?
Let's start with the cakes and then we'll try the water.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a intelligence science check.
Can I say that I am going to be switching into my lab coat before I do any of this?
Yes. Thank you for saying that. It goes a long way.
Yep.
Difficulty-
Would you guys mind if I used?
Yeah, we got a few.
We have 4 right now still.
Difficulty starts at 4, decreased to 3 because of Pip.
Okay.
We have good news.
My son.
tongue is
Pip tongue is plot relevant.
What? He's using
Using
the pip tongue to analyze the poisons.
We're like, hey Pip, could you just taste all those poisons? He's like, yup.
4
And
successes.
we don't have a
Thought it
laboratory.
was irrelevant.
That's what I
No,
said.
this
I thought
is,
it was
like,
just like,
incredible.
It was funny that
We're
it was
like,
literally just like a weird joke.
yo,
and
Pip,
then
we
that's
don't have a
actually-
lab.
And we
You might
couldn't have done it.
taste
All right,
We'd
all right.
have trouble otherwise because we didn't have a lab.
Okay.
So
Which one does Pip like the flavor of best is the real question.
One action point for that. You get the
Wow.
chemical makeup. Do you want that just to be the check for checking the poisons in Barnes' briefcase as well?
That's fine.
Okay. Yeah, 1 action point back. You would get an identity of the poison, which I will not name because I don't like 8-syllable words, and that's probably what you,
Harvard
as a
Furniture
scientist,
Guide.
would be able to identify. You would confirm that it does match one of the poisons in the briefcase, number 8 specifically.
One other thing I wanted to check. I want to see does the poison look like it's decomposed or degraded at all? As in,
Forensic
does it look
analysis.
like it's been in the cakes for a while, or it's been added recently from a fresh batch?
If you give your action point back into the jar, I'll tell you.
would
No hesitation.
It's
Yeah.
too late to assist. I've already said
Also,
it's already
this
passed.
is a different thing. Could we? And maybe this is a separate thing. But if could we compare the age of the poison in the cake and the syringe? If that would that wouldn't be the same.
Well, it's more like how is it interacting with the cake itself,
Yeah,
right?
I
That's
don't
more
know.
how you would tell
well,
me.
Because the syringe is like a
Yeah, I want-
sterile environment, and you're putting it inside a cake, and even if it's saran wrapped, it might. It's up to you. Anyway, keep doing what you're doing.
I'm kind of confused, but
Yeah, chemicals in general just degrade over time. So I just want to see, does it look like it's been in the cake for a while, or does it look like it's just...
Pip's like, the poison's not very fresh, but the cake's great.
I hate to kind of reduce the possibility of the check.
Do I
But
get my action point
no,
back?
no. You're just. I'm not gonna. You can't carbon date it.
So you can't get like a completely accurate, I am 100% confident of this. But it does look like it has been in there for a little while.
So it doesn't look like it was added in the last few hours, is what you're
Correct. Yes, that is what I can tell you, is that it was not added
Okay.
within the last few hours.
saying. Okay. Then I want to check and see if the other cakes have been poisoned for. Basically, I want to see if the rest of the union members' cakes have been poisoned, and then I want to randomly grab a sample from each of the other colors and test them to see if there's any poison in any
Yep.
of those.
No check for that. You would just see that it is just the union cakes that are poisoned. But all the
All of
union
them.
cakes are.
Okay.
Which would make sense, I think.
Jerry's just gonna have Cortland verify his work after
Yep.
he does
Which-
each step.
You know what? You have an NPC here. But you also already made the check, so I'm not going to have him assist. Okay, he would verify the results.
I heard him taste, and that was the first thing that came up.
Looks like this wasn't done recently. Or at least in between the summits. All right, back to the interrogation room.
It was in the cake and not the drink, correct?
Yeah, Pip would just say 7.2 pH. Good, but no poison. Just normal water.
Me testing the waters of my aquarium.
Ooh, wait. Minerals. Don't drink this stuff, unless you're having digestive issues.
So it's a
Good
lax.
to know.
Correct. Xanadu was built on a mineral spring.
Jerry is gonna drink some of that later.
He's like, I ain't Jerry.
It's
I
like,
should find out."
finally.
And
Jerry, short for geriatric.
Yeah.
That has been a joke for the last 45 sessions.
But it's so
And
true
it's
though.
funny every time.
It is.
is that so? That poison is in Barnes's collection.
Correct, he has it. Yep.
But it's been a while.
I want to look at the end of the syringe, see if there's any residue on the outside. Like I want to see, because like sometimes when you squeeze it out, there's like a little drop left in the hole at the end.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to see if it looks like, you know, or if there's any cake residue or anything. Actually, yeah. Can I have Pip Tongue taste the end of the syringe, see if he can taste any cake?
Doesn't matter if it's like.
Yeah.
Sure. Yep.
Just,
Um,
if you have a shortcut to bring it back whenever you need to.
I'm not going to assign a difficulty to this one.
That's the IT lady.
He would not taste any. And the conclusion you can get from that is either it was thoroughly cleaned or there was never any cake on it.
Okay.
You can't tell
I have blue light glasses, but I don't really
whether
see
either of
much.
them are the case.
Okay.
Julian, after a little while, Jonas Abercorn would enter the room. Look, it's Michigan.
Star Paladin Abercorn, I say, trying a little bit too hard to take that title seriously.
That's me.
I'd like to call in Barnes Franklin first if you're alright with it. I think he's already under some pressure with the briefcase reveal. Might be good to press the advantage while we have it.
Go ahead.
Alright. I'd be fine with you taking the lead if you'd like me to take the lead on the polygraph. I could insert questions as needed.
No, you take the lead.
Alright.
Don't worry, I know how these things work. I'm in the Brotherhood. We protect everything from a toaster to a supercomputer. It's just a heart rate monitor, anyways.
I'll check your findings once we're done.
Please do.
So I would like to get, I don't know, one of the Xanadu employees or someone to bring Barnes.
Okay. Barnes would come freely.
Mr. Franklin, please take a seat.
Oh, hi. Screw you.
Hi, Barnes.
And he
Screw
sits
you
down.
too.
Good morning, officer.
Now, for the record, what's your name?
Barnes.
Full name, please.
Barney Franklin.
I would look over at Jonas. How old are you, Mr. Franklin?
Oh boy. This is in the doc that I have on the backstory document.
Whoa.
For the sake of time, he would just say
Say
27. Or something close. I believe he's... Oh, wait, no, 35.
leave it.
And who are you representing here at the summit?
Syndicated Holdings.
That one rings true. From Jonas Abercorn.
All right. Now, got a bit of a baseline. I'd like you to tell me exactly who those poisons were meant for and when.
Those were meant for anybody. Can't be too prepared in my line of work.
Anybody who...
Jonas is going to be handling your... Okay, only because of the polygraph, that's where I'll say you can do more insight checks, because you're actively getting mathematical results on every statement. So if you're doing a gut feeling insight check or just on something someone said, keep it to 1. But Barnes is going to compete against Jonas.
About what time is this happening while we're doing all of our other stuff?
What do you mean?
Have we finished our investigation by the time that...
No. There's going to be... The investigation with Barnes is going to occur at the same time as you are you doing the...
I should have overthought that, or I should have rethought that.
Because I'm gonna...
Yeah.
Because after we do that, I would want to...
You can come in at the end, though.
I want to message Julian something on the Pip-Boy.
Okay. I'll allow a
come in.
message.
Okay.
Message, I take it, is poison match.
Well, towards the end, I'm going to message, say, poison match, tell Barnes it doesn't.
Okay. That'll not come up right now. Sorry.
Later
I
on.
should not have asked about that early. So first off...
Later on.
I'm not sure I'm catching your drift.
See his reaction. Because if the poison doesn't match, it might surprise him more than if we say, oh, the poison matches.
Well, that might just surprise him because of the vast stock of poisons he's carrying around, though. I'm not sure how much that would tell us.
Well, more if he did poison. But
That'll not come up right now. After Barnes said,
Anyway.
I like to be prepared, Jonas would just say,
You said you'd use it on anyone who... What?
Oh, who needed poisoning. Not for this event, though. The mob has long been an organization that honors the peace that is here. And we wouldn't break it at a time so crucial.
All right. Who do you believe did?
I think you, most likely. I don't think the Union has the guts to poison one of their own, but whoever's doing it is definitely trying to pin it on us. Poisoning? Come on. Could be the Brotherhood.
he says as he looks to Star Paladin Abercorn.
I don't know if I trust that guy you have running this investigation with you.
That's why the two of us are running it together. I will check all of his results after this is done.
All right.
All right. You believe this is more about you than you do about the Union?
What do you mean?
I mean, you believe that someone poisoned the Union to frame it on you.
Oh, absolutely. If I wanted to kill some random train hopper, then I would have done it in a much different way than poisoning in a public place. Probably would have just domed her outside of Xanadu. It's legal.
Thank you for your candor, Mr. Franklin.
You're getting thumbs up from Jonas.
All right. Did you have any contact with Delroy Trade Lines in the days leading up? You or any of your people have contact with Delroy Trade Lines in the days leading up to the summit?
Do you know how many people I manage? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe someone decided to shop from one of your cows.
Did you directly or indirectly order anyone to make contact with Delroy Trade Lines?
No.
Were you aware before the summit began that Delroy Trade Lines would be bringing refreshments for everyone?
No.
You get a nod from Jonas.
Star Paladin, do you have anything you would like to add?
Yeah. No, it's just worth a shot. Did you poison the Union cakes?
No.
All right.
I think that should be it for now. If we unearth...
This is when you would get your message from Jerry.
It would just be poisons match what's in there.
A note from our doctor.
Does it say, please help me, I've fallen and I can't get up?
No, but I expected it to.
Ah,
It says the variety of poison used was
yeah.
one that I noticed you had in your person as well.
We'll call it contryptophan.
Poison number 8, it says.
Hate poison number
This is poison
8.
number 8.
Is this the prequel?
Okay.
Why would you use that poison over other ones in your stock? Not saying that you did it, but if you were to have done it, why would you choose that particular poison?
I probably wouldn't. That's something I'd probably use if I was trying to scare someone. You know, waggle an antidote in front of them for an hour as, you know, their insides spill out and they start coughing blood and, you know, that kind of thing. It's an intimidation poison. It will kill, though. Not for use in a discreet setting like this.
What would you have used if you were to be interested in offing someone in a discreet setting like this?
Probably something with a long delay so that they don't die in the middle when it's all dramatic and everybody notices it and an entire investigation sets forth.
Fair enough. Good point. All right, Mr. Franklin, thank you for your time. We'll tell you if anything else comes up that we need you back here in the room for.
Uh-huh. Let's hope this wasn't a waste of my time. Or things are gonna come apart.
You can head back to your room now.
Good luck with your investigation, Julian.
He says as he heads out of the room.
All right. Anything of note you got from that?
I don't think so, but you probably have a better picture of Barnes than I do. You think he's the kind of person capable of deception?
Capable, absolutely. Do I think you did it? Probably not.
No. Well,
Working a bit of an angle, I'd like to see Marshall Gadsden next, if you're all right with it.
interesting choice. All right, but he might not be. Nah, that actually works well. We're probably on better terms than any other Brotherhood contact. Cortlandt might not be the best there. I have a history with him. Good history.
Oh, well, I guess that'll help us then.
All right.
As long as it's not a bad one.
Jerry, at about this time, you and Cortlandt would arrive.
Gentlemen, you just missed Barnes.
Oh, did you say anything about the thing I sent you?
I mentioned that it matched. He said it was the sort of poison you'd probably use to scare someone rather than to kill him in a setting like this.
Oh, we deduced that already.
It seemed fair enough.
I don't think it was him.
I think if anyone wanted to frame the mob, it would be likely to be the militia. We're gonna pull that angle next, see what comes out of it.
It's a possibility.
I thought of something.
Just
What
rolled
if
around.
someone
Yeah.
stole if someone
Yeah.
would know that Barnes had all those poisons on him and like stole the poison from his briefcase to like try
Yeah.
to make him look like him do it? That could be a question we could ask him. Why
Do
he
we
did
know?
those.
Do we know who else had access to the mob's room? Or could have gotten in there?
Might be worth checking that with Sally and her personnel.
Mm-hmm.
They've had eyes on things around the rooms more than we have.
Yep.
Also, do we know what time people got here? Did they all get here right before the summit, or did they get in there and settle in their rooms before the summit?
Good question. Everybody arrived generally beforehand and didn't settle in. You would be able to confirm that with Bartholomew. He would just say,
I have check-in logs. Everyone came in before the summit, but not too long before.
Also, from what I deduced from the poison, it wasn't put in there within the last couple hours. It's been there for a little while. Not sure how long, but they didn't do it during the summit.
Would Wold be around here?
do you want to
All of
go
the cakes
to the
were
interrogation
poisoned
room
as well
after reviewing
for
the
the-
footage?
For that
For
color.
the union,
I think
that
so.
makes
At least
sense.
like regroup of like. clues
Yeah,
and
sure.
stuff.
Do the rest of you all want to join Wold as he regroups here with you all?
Yeah.
Tabitha?
Oh, yes.
Margie?
Jerry's gonna
Okay. Yeah.
actually.
You can be there.
Could you? Who's this guy? Oh, this is Brotherhood.
Well, you know Star Pilot and Jonas Abercorn.
We met on the border long while ago.
Oh yeah, with the what's their names? The guys that you stripped and then sent out in the snow.
Blue Jackets?
If I remember correctly, you said we should just shoot him.
Yeah, I remember that.
Man, in a lot of ways. Talk about like, yeah, good moment.
Yeah, Doc, you need a word?
Yeah.
If you give us a minute, and I'll go ahead and walk off with the doc.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I don't think it was Barnes.
I'm getting that feeling too.
It just, I don't know. He strikes me as too smart to do that, unless he's counting on us thinking he's too smart to do that. But I would think that if he was going to do that, he wouldn't do it the way he did.
I don't think it accomplishes anything for him the way it turned out. I mean, if he'd been trying to kill someone, sure, that might have gone his way, but
I think whoever did it was just trying to throw the summit off. So my top suspects would be someone with the Brotherhood, or who knows if the militia isn't interested in this summit either.
we'll get everyone in front of the polygraph sooner or later. I want to pull the lead on the militia first, as they're the ones with the most vested interest in kicking the mob out.
What are we going to do about Zinnia? If you interrogate her in front of the Brotherhood.
She's not the leader of the delegation. For the Enclave, I think we'll pull Martin in front of the polygraph. Possibly myself.
Okay. I'm just saying she could spill some secrets.
I don't think she could, Doctor. I've been thinking about it the same way, but if you think about the relationship that the Brotherhood and the Union have, it's very similar. I don't see any problem with us having a pre-established relationship with the mob.
Oh, I'm saying if comes out our deal with the mob, the Union would love to use that. You know, with the Union, with the militia, that would tank any hope of this summit that we have.
I think it could throw a wrench in things, but I don't think it would dismantle things.
It would with the militia.
Well, let's see what we see in the next interrogation. I think that'll tell us a little bit more about where the militia stands.
All right. Just wanted to give you a heads up.
Woldwood, as they're going entry downstairs to get to them, he would mention to Marty, we'll talk when we all get back to our rooms or something like that. More private if that's okay. Anyway, and they make it over and over. So he would relay the information that we have, just so we're all on the same page. He'd say, it seems to me, so there is the possibility that someone could have snuck out and poisoned the snack cakes. I think number one, we need to know if people, I think whoever knows the most about the snack cakes is going to be someone who, like, if you want to poison a group, either they're picking randomly to cause a problem, or if they specifically wanted to get the Union, they would need to know about them. So I'm going to try and look into who knows about the cakes.
Well, we can take care of that in the interrogations. I've been asking that question.
Yeah. I'm going to see if I can investigate a little bit of where these cakes came up from. And
Your man Clint that you messaged us about, why did you need to investigate him?
well, our group felt like he was high and might have some information. Also, I feel like asking him about the storage of the cakes and seeing if there was like, see if he knows more. He was in there for a little bit, see if he saw anyone in the kitchen staff or if he knew people that we could talk to. I just want to isolate
Could you?
a time, see if we can isolate kind of
Yeah.
more things.
Well, the doctor said that the cake hadn't been poisoned in the last couple of hours. This was a longer term thing. That's
Yeah.
something worth taking into account.
That would mean that it would probably be something that would have been planted a little while. So that would either be that if the cakes were shipped in today, that narrows it down. If they were shipped in at a certain point, we could check to see who would know about that. So I think finding the baker who's behind this would be helpful.
Could you?
The caterer and the baker, talking with them.
I'd like to trace them all the way back to when Delroy trade lines arrived. I don't want to throw off the interrogation by having us interrogate people outside of this room, but would you be willing to pursue the staff side of things, talk to Clint, talk to anyone else who had his hands on the snack cakes, and
I can
trace
help
it
with
back
that.
to the moment they got off of Clarabelle?
Yeah, I could take some help. I could also use someone to write down stuff. Maybe like some Margie. Also, in case we need to watch more footage.
Okay.
All right. Well, keep me updated if you learn anything useful.
Okay, I'll check out
Um,
that area.
also, we can't. I don't think this happened, but we also can't dismiss the idea that someone in the union did it as well.
Well, I've got someone on every delegation coming in here at some point or another.
I think I do agree with you guys' assessment about Barnes. It doesn't sound like I haven't been doing his Wold voice at all. I realize.
No.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
Yeah. Anyway,
I was like, I guess it's gone.
I'm getting really into,
He acclimated.
really
In the
into
US
the
too long.
cerebral. You really missed the Wold part.
He's trying not to sound Canadian.
Sweating. All right. Yes, I'll check out that. I also agree with your assessment. I feel like he's a little too experienced in this, and I think he knows that it would be a bad idea to do it here, which is why I think I'm leaning towards it seems like it's something that was caused to cause a scene and a commotion more than this, or to cause us to be asking questions.
Might be a good idea when you're interrogating to figure out what they think about the summit. Find any motivation for throwing the summit off.
Sure, I'll add that in.
Anyway, we should go interrogate people.
Yes, I'll call Marshal Gadsden in.
All right. We'll follow the staff angle first. Where is that party going? I take it that's Tabitha, Margie, Jerry, and Wold.
I think Wold. I guess we would have asked. They would have asked us already, but the guy that served the snack cakes, we asked for like who would be like the head server, or like really I think like the caterer or the event planner that we should talk to about like who knows the details.
The event planner is Julian Ortega.
Who would be in charge of food then? There, I'm doing the voice now.
Hey, I haven't got in front of the
I saw that
polygraph
on
yet.
the
Actually,
list.
Yeah.
Julia.
There's a head chef.
Yeah.
I'm free.
But I don't know if I've described these very well. Fancy Lad snack cakes are pre-war. They are not baked in any bakery. They're basically Twinkies.
Oh, can
yes.
we actually be learning this from the chef?
I mean,
Okay, let's just say
if you want, but he would be insulted by that. He's
All
just
right,
like,
maybe
no,
we'll-
I make things much fancier than that.
Okay, I guess when Wold would be... Wold is using his pre-war knowledge. He's going into Batman mode, and he's learning this, like, oh yes, I remember this now.
Yeah, they're still pretty common. They turn up in as loot quite often.
So what they're implying is it's not made, it would have had to have been shipped.
Yes, correct.
So, then that question is, so it would have had to have been shipped in. Who shipped it in?
Gene would answer this one.
That would be Delroy Trade Lines. They shipped it from their warehouses.
I believe I mentioned that, but I don't know who I mentioned it
I
to.
think so. I think
Yeah.
you did mention that's good then. So Delroy Trade Lines. So Delroy Trade Lines would have sent it here.
Yeah.
And then with just the whole kitchen staff, like where would they have been stored?
Right on the counter where I picked him up.
Okay. Can I look at the kitchen? Can I open
Sure,
the door?
sure. Yeah.
My check to examine the bag for any holes, did that apply to the other bags too?
Yes.
Okay.
No holes.
No holes.
Yep.
They were poisoned before the war.
You can.
Will's gonna
We
look at the
sell
expiration
poison
date
flavor.
on these, and he sees that like it's like 5 years in the future. He's like turns it back over.
Yep.
We got to get this radiation thing figured out before the fancy lads expire.
Yeah, Gene would show you the kitchen. It seems to be a lot less busy than it was probably earlier. It's a little quiet now. No one's being served any dinner. No one's hungry right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, he'd show you the counter where hot dishes are prepared and picked up by servers, and say,
Yep, and labeled crates were right here.
Okay, so they would have been in this room also. They were in crates.
Yeah, small boxes labeled with which color goes to where. So there was a small crate that was red that said Union on it.
I want to look at the Union crate and just see what I can see.
sure, we probably put it out by the dumpster. Take you outside the kitchen, which does connect to the outside. And there is the dumpster there.
You gotta dig through it though. I'm not touching that crap.
Hold this. I got this.
Jerry rolls his sleeves up.
No, I've got this.
Yep.
That's fine. I skin animals for a living.
He's like, let me read the
I skin people, okay?
That's what?
Whoever will be doing this will be taking a penalty to their charisma.
for the remainder of the summit.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
For the remainder.
And I'm going to use.
We need to unify.
I'm going to
What
use
smells.
perception science.
I just see World King of
Wait, no, not
Swan
science.
dive
Sorry,
into
that
the
was something
dumpster.
else.
Survival.
Survival. That's what I meant.
Yep. This is scrounging.
Perception,
This is
survival.
technically scavenging.
Scavenging. Here we go.
Tabs is like, oh, it's my everyday job.
Okay. Two
Difficulty
successes.
is 1.
Wait a minute. Who comes and empties the dumpster?
Good question. Oh, we contract with this freelancer, I guess.
Oh, like a scrapper?
Yeah. He's kind of more of a force of nature, I guess.
Like him?
No.
He's doing like. Yeah.
What-
Yeah, like
He's doing, yeah.
You see trash flying
Yeah,
everywhere.
he's
he's
like,
like the cartoony,
He's
like,
like swimming in it.
he's like that guy, Big Don.
Big Don.
He just picks up the garbage and leaves. We don't ask questions.
Okay.
I do like that because people are like so themed. It can't just be like, yeah, there's a guy that just takes the trash. He's the trash man. You're like,
I'm a
Okay,
trash
that's
man.
normal.
I go out, I throw trash all over the place.
that would be 2 successes.
Okay. Get 1 action point back. Yeah, you managed to find the crates. They're pretty high in the dumpster. Pretty easy to find them. So there are crates for
Pretty
every single
high in
color.
the dumpster, just like
You mean
Clint
Clint?
3 hours ago.
What? What?
Clint high in the
High in the
dumpster.
dumpster,
Oh.
just like Clint.
There are small crates for
That's where he went.
We're really gonna find out.
the specifically colored cakes, and there's a
That's
larger
not
one
really
for the
good.
independent ones, which were the white cakes.
That was all public polygraph.
Yeah,
We did
but you
send
find
that.
the union one.
All
Is the
out.
crate labeled at all? So it's labeled Union?
It says Midwestern Union right on it. Yep.
Everyone's like, okay, well that's
As
weird.
with every other
Not
crate.
criminal, so
Spray painted through a stencil.
Change the purpose
So
of the
that doesn't
stomach.
help. That means that anybody could have figured it out.
so I was like, dang, Clint. Anyway,
My one question is that if they like somehow they poison these, so they did open them somehow.
Did they come colored
vintage poison.
Mhm.
from back in the day, or did somebody open these and color these after the war?
They came colored before the war.
Okay.
You would know that. They
Okay.
Is there
it's
a
weird.
chart anywhere that says here are the different flavors and one of them is poison?
It comes with the package. It's weird. They kind of look like macarons
It's like the
from the
jelly
in-game
beans.
art. But
It's
yes,
like
they do come in
the-
colors.
Oh,
what were the ones?
Bean Boozled?
Bean Boozled. It's like Bean Boozled, but some of them are death.
That'd
That's
be a
just
fun
the kind of
game.
pre-war activity that I'm sure would take off.
Were there
Russian
like,
jelly
extra,
bean.
Were there extra snack cakes, or were there just enough for each person to have one?
Are you asking that?
Well,
He's getting hungry, Spencer. Answer
I'm just
the man.
I'm just asking like.
Don't
Who's
ask
they
me about
asking?
mine. I
I'm
ate
just
mine.
asking, was there like
You guys, like, want
just a
these,
full
or, like,
crate
you know-
for it, and then they just just
That'd be
grabbed
good.
some, or were they did they specifically count based on how many people were coming?
I mean, you just see the empty crates right now. You could probably
Okay.
put in more in the crates than were served.
Okay.
How big are the crates?
I think they did mention.
The ones for specific parties like the Enclave, the Brotherhood, the Union are like about as wide as this rule book and just a little bit tall. They're quite small. And the one that has other cakes in it, oh boy, 2 feet by maybe 2 feet by 1 foot, and it's half a foot wide or half a foot tall.
Not big enough
I'd
for
like
a
to
person.
talk with DTL.
Yeah, there was a bunch of used syringes in there too. So I think
Yes.
someone's been in there.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Difficulty of charisma checks is increased by 1.
Yes.
You
He
now
also
smell
has
like garbage.
hepatitis.
Yep. He's wearing. Are you wearing power armor?
I think after he got checked, then yeah, I think he puts it back on.
Okay. All right. Don't forget to expend the charges for that, though.
So now you don't have hepatitis.
Power armor has charges. Fusion cores. You expend 1 charge per scene.
Each fusion core has 8 typically.
No, you're a nuclear physicist.
Oh,
Everyone has 4.
yeah, because you get
No.
the extra. No. Because
Really?
I get like 14 or something.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
No.
Then it must be 8. Anyways,
think-
we
I
can
think
talk
you
about that
increased-
later, but do keep track
I think
of
you
fusion
increased
cores.
it. at
Read the
some
rules
point.
on that.
so
We'll do that later.
I'd like to talk to the DTL, see how these were delivered, because
On
and where they got them.
Clarabelle.
I know, but I'm.
They
It was
told
clearly
you.
it was,
Clarabelle did it.
it was clearly done by someone who was able to open the packaging and then reseal it.
So
Because I
not
didn't see any
Clarabelle.
holes.
Have we checked
And-
that
Real quick,
Clarabelle doesn't have thumbs?
I'm gonna look at the box. Does it look like the box maybe was open and closed, or like would that be hard to tell?
That's impossible to
Look
tell.
down,
The
look
box
for
was
all the
opened
feet. She's got,
at some
like,
point.
8 thumbs.
You can't do forensic analysis of when a box was
I never
opened.
looked down there. I didn't.
I was
know.
wondering like
She's
multiple nails and things,
I didn't
but
want you
I'll
to
just
know.
Multiple what?
I didn't want you to find
Somebody
out this
nailed
way.
it.
Did
We're
somebody
both soft.
pry it open and then re-nail it?
Ah.
That's what I guess.
Yeah, roll a check for that one.
Okay.
Good thinking. This is why I like RPGs.
Well, can't see anything, but let's do this.
Can I help with that?
Yes, but no action points for this. Your pool is probably
Yeah, 34.
difficulty 2.
Okay.
Perception survival.
Okay. 2 successes.
One from me.
Okay. No action points. But yeah, it looks like no one has resealed this crate.
Okay. So that means put in, came here, opened. So either A, it's to whoever put them in the crate, which could be a bit of a long shot, or B, that means that here they go.
Wait a minute. When they served the cakes, they were still sealed, right?
Yes.
Okay. So they didn't open them and then bring them out.
No, they did not.
Okay.
Yep, they brought them out sealed.
That means if they were, so theoretically, unless these cakes were always branded really badly and had poison in them, that means that someone, if they could have put the poison in, they would have had to have at some point open it and put in poison and close it, which would mean either A, they're really good at doing that, or they had some machine or something to do it.
Yes.
Which makes me wonder if they could do it here.
I don't think you could do that on the fly, or if you
I
did,
think
you would
so.
have had to poke a hole through it. You couldn't open it and then reseal it in perfect condition.
So then that would
It's
be.
getting pretty big.
Someone
I
has a
think we-
hair straightener.
Oh,
Actually,
I think we should keep checking.
You're not
There
wrong.
might be ways that people could have done it or things they could have done.
Like a
But I think also
That's gonna be
we should
really
find out who exactly,
It's just taking forever.
where
I
this
was
came
gonna do
from.
it this way, but it wasn't
Yeah,
quite long enough.
detailing
for
would
my
be
way, so
our-
I miscalculated the chain links. but
Detail
do
could
it
be
this
our
way.
next place.
All right, we'll go
we're-
back to the interrogate. Oh, what are you doing?
We're gonna message Julian and let her know
Okay.
just the progress of what we've.
Yeah.
After the end of each scene, if we
Yes.
discover anything like that, or
Let's try and
we're just gonna kind of keep her.
What
up
are the
to date.
information?
Thank
We'll
you.
keep-
Sounds
we'll
good.
just keep sending to the group chat.
You have
so
that
people
info,
know.
Julian.
All right, and I'll pass it along to Jonas whenever we receive it. Just for the
Well, it
sake
also
of,
says I also can't talk to people. I
fairness.
smell like garbage now.
Hmm.
Smiley face.
All right.
you would just get 2 words. Consider showering.
Well, does yes, but time? Question mark? Question mark? Question mark?
A thought for later. Period.
All right.
So I'd like to call Marshall Gadsden in next.
Okay. Cortland would take the place of Jonas. And he would ask permission. Is that fine with you? I'm a bit more experienced with technology than the Star Paladin is.
It's
Hey.
all the same to me, whoever would like to be involved in the interrogation.
Well, High Elder told you that you were the person, so I guess I'll go back and try to prevent any snafu that comes from this.
Nice to see you again.
Likewise. Find out who did this.
Working
He's
on
gonna
it.
step out of the room. Marshal Gadsden would come in, escorted by Bartholomew.
Marshall, please take a seat.
I sincerely hope you don't think I did this thing, right?
We're running someone from every delegation through a list of questions just to see what we can uncover.
Well, why are you asking me and not Bolt? If I was going to kill someone, probably not do it myself.
My interest is bringing in the leadership from each organization because I think it's most likely that they would have been informed if something was to have happened.
Fair enough. I see your point. Ask away.
All right, Marshall, for the record, can you state your full name?
Chuck Gadsden, Marshal of the Ohio State Militia.
And your age?
I am 61.
All right, and I suppose you preempted my third my third question. What's your favorite color, Marshall?
Scarlet and gray, baby.
Why did I ask? All right, can you tell me, first, how are you feeling about the summit as a whole?
How was that related to the investigation?
More of a baseline, say.
I know how these things work. What kind of baseline would a subjective question be?
All right, maybe more of a motivation question then. Would you answer it?
Absolutely. Least I can do.
Would you answer the question?
Oh, sorry. I thought you were going to ask it again. Well, truth be told, I figured something like this was going to happen. I'm a little glad that no one had to die because of it. Well, no one other than Barnes Franklin, of course. That would have made my day.
Yes, I've noticed that you have quite the axe to grind, and I know why as well.
Yes, he
There's,
kidnapped my daughter.
The theory's been brought up that the mob's been framed for this. Can I ask you if you were behind that?
Behind the framing?
You have motive. Did you frame Barnes Franklin with the poison?
No, I did not. Although, maybe I should have. We're not as sly as he can be.
And glance back at Ulster.
What do you mean, Ulster?
I'm sorry.
Jonas?
No, not Jonas. Cortland.
Okay.
I'm used to Ulster being the other guy in this because of all the initial ones that we did with you guys. Thank you, Marshall. Who do you suspect did poison everyone? Or the Poison Union representatives?
Well, to be perfectly honest, this is the first time I've heard this poisoning theory. Or, well, sorry, framing theory.
It's one idea of many that have been brought up.
I think it's still Barnes. I admit, it would be incredibly stupid for him to do this. But he could be going on this whole... I don't know. Several layers of deception deep. This idea that surely the mob wouldn't do something so forward like that in a place where they've never broached the peace of. They have probably more of an axe to grind with the Union than anyone else here.
Thank you for your thoughts on that. I appreciate it. Were you aware that Delroy Trade Lines was bringing these snack cakes as refreshments for the delegations?
No, I was not. Although they were quite tasty. Next, the poison.
Were you in any point in the week before the summit in contact with Delroy Trade Lines representatives?
Well, yes, but not about this, if that's what you're asking. It's standard stuff of, well, I was asking for more of their traders in, recently emancipated Celltown. We need more rep there, now that the mob has been kicked.
Did this meeting take place in your territory or theirs?
My territory. At the, oh boy, Armnasium.
As far as you are aware, have any members of the Ohio State Militia arrived at, and I would list the facility, I don't know what the Delroy
It's Lansing.
in the Lansing facility for Delroy Trade Lines in the last week?
Not that I'm aware of.
Were you in any way, shape, or form planning retaliation against Barnes or the mob delegation for what they did?
Yes.
Would you care to explain exactly what it was you were planning on doing in retaliation?
Absolutely not. I don't know where these results are going, and I'm not going to divulge any plans that I have.
Would these plans have interfered with the summit in any way, shape, or form?
I'm going to plead the fifth on that one.
You understand that that automatically casts you in a more suspicious light.
You're with the Enclave, right?
Yes.
Doesn't the Fifth Amendment mean something to you?
Not since our president has dissolved the government, no.
Yeah. Yes, I'm aware of what that means. But I had no
involvement with this poisoning. As I said, it's too sly for us. Our method is much more forward.
Is there anything aside from the aforementioned retaliation plan that you have to hide regarding this delegation or the poisoning?
Anything I have to hide? That's a rather open-ended question. Other than those things, no. I came here in open faith, and truth be told, I'm more optimistic than I was at the start. Nix the poison.
Well, I'm glad to hear. Have you at any time in the last week had contact with, what was the poison called? Contryptophan?
Contryptophan.
Contryptophan.
What is that? Is that the poison?
It's the variety of poison used.
No. I don't even know what that is.
All right. Is there anything you would like to add, Roman? If you have something on your mind, you should say it.
Is your plan to stoke a war between the mob and the Union? I mean, they're already at war, as is and should everyone. No, it's not my plan. My plan is to take the war to the mob. Short and simple. That's all I have.
All right. Thank you for your time, Marshall. We'll be sure to let you know if we need you in for a questioning on anything else that comes up during the course of the investigations.
Please do. I hope that you find the killer. And he's going to exit.
All right. What did we learn from that, Irwin?
Doo-doo-doo. Well, that certainly puts him a little higher on our list.
Certainly is the motive. I'm struggling to find the opportunity.
Agreed. From what I'm aware of the militia's potentials, they've never dabbled in anything like poison before. That would be hard for them to do, especially considering the biggest poison distributor in the Midwest just got kicked out of their state.
Jerry wants to message Jules and ask if he can be in on the interview with Zinnia.
I don't think we're planning on interviewing Zinnia. The hope is to interview the leader of each faction. Then pull in more as needed.
You all could reconvene back
Yeah.
at here since you're... I believe your questioning is... Oh, no. You wanted to talk to someone in
We
DTO?
want to talk to DTL. I just before
We might
before they do any kind of interviews with
Well, we
Zinnia.
could pull DTL in next if you guys want to stick around and ask some initial questions.
Yeah, that might be good. We just want to figure out kind of where the stuff's come from. I also strongly suspect Zinnia. If we're looking at planning barn or framing barns, it could be somebody within the mob
Also, she could take his
wanting
advice.
to take over.
Seems like an odd time for a power grab, though, considering she's just been put in a new position.
Did she find out about the whole
I mean, it's
the like
Complications
dissolving
and-
of the enclave thing, and then like would she have had time to put a poison like
No, the poison was put in earlier
Yeah.
than that.
But
we
I'm just
know it's
saying,
not the last few hours.
if this was planned a few days ago, this would be a perfect opportunity to get rid of Barnes without making it look like an internal power grab from within the mob. Everybody else has Barnes kind of at their mercy at a conference, and they can just kill him if they wanted to. Like she's got the militia here that would be all too happy to kill him. She's got now the Union and the Brotherhood if they can get convinced that he
Maybe
did it.
whoever was doing the poison, if it's Zinnia or whoever, was hoping for like
Yeah.
kind of a mass panic mob mentality of like, who did it? You did it.
It could be Zinnia
Kinda
working with somebody else, or it could be somebody else within the mob.
I
but-
still suspect the militia. I don't think they've cleared themselves.
Oh yeah,
I don't think we've any proof though, and I think the method is the part we need to uncover. Right now, that's
talking with DTL.
yeah. So I think we call them in next. If you guys want to start with logistics questions, and then we can proceed into the interrogation portion of that.
Which would be, I think, specific. Which would be specifically would be asking about either the supplier of where they got it from, see if there's any weird connections there, and then also would be. So from what it looks like it made the whole trip without getting affected when they got put into the crates. So whoever got put in the crates, whoever sent it, and that might be something to look into. I feel like I was thinking about this. There's kind of two possibilities with the cakes. I think we're leaning towards, and I do agree with this, I think it was made to make a scene. Because if it was made to be a bad job, they poisoned all the cakes. The poison wasn't very effective. It feels like someone was trying to do something purposeful, but they didn't do it really well at all. So it feels like...
plot twist. Whoever did it actually was an idiot and did a really bad job. It was Flint.
It was
Yeah, we're all
like,
like,
it never
it's
ate
because
like
feels
good
like
to
there's
me,
two-
and
Yeah,
I
they're like,
did not
they
know
were
what
trying
they
to
were
fake
doing.
it. They were trying
We
to.
know
And it
that-
turns out it was just like, oh, I didn't know.
We
It's like
know that
there's
the
too
cakes
much
were
plans.
poisoned in between whoever did it's finding out about the summit and between the crate being sealed. So we know that the crate wasn't opened and then re-nailed shut.
So yeah, because I guess when people arrived here, that was only a few hours ago. So we could probably isolate it as having been before then.
And it was likely, based on what we saw of the crate was not opened or pried open and re-nailed shut.
And
So
we only informed people about the summit 5 days ago.
yes, so between 5 days and whenever the crate was sealed, that's when we need to figure out
Okay.
and who could have had access in that time.
We'll go ahead and call Ulster in next. I think he'll be the root of that. I've been asking everyone if they've had contact with DTL. That could provide them the opportunity, but I think asking DTL will be a more effective way of cataloging who may have had an opportunity.
Is that who you're asking for next?
Yeah.
All right. Is it just you, Apricorn, and technically Bartholomew in on this interview?
Did someone from the staff team want to stay and ask those logistical questions? Or what were you guys thinking?
We'll at least have some questions just of like who would know about the. So either he can be there and ask the questions, or he can just tell someone. Basically, what I have is who would know about the cakes. So like who would know that this is a thing,
Right.
and be able to like affect it. Maybe even finding the travel time could help cut down like who it could be. Also, one thing that he is, if I was correct, the DTL had like a president shift that was kind of
Yes.
violent, but kind of not violent.
It wasn't violent. It was just like politically
Yes.
inconvenient.
I'm weird out of left field. Feels like DTL has like a weird foot in this, but also feels like they wouldn't want to do that. So I'm wondering if there's someone who's messing with DTL.
I think there's a lot of players in the game. I suspect more, but we can see what Ulster has to say about some of the more incriminating questions on the list.
I
See if
agree.
there is any reason to suspect him.
Just see if he thinks
Yeah.
asking about
Yeah.
enemies
Or-
or people who might not
Yeah.
like him in his own
It could be a
company.
power grab in DTL as well.
Yes. I'm not saying that's totally what it could be.
It's less
I
likely.
suppose, but it doesn't really seem like anyone suspects them.
Exactly.
So I don't think it would be working very effectively if it was a power
I'm
grab.
wondering if it's some sort of like, well, he was in charge of moving the crates and he's failing at his job, but it feels weird.
So yeah, we will call him in.
Okay. Mr. Ulster, when I enter the room.
Mr. Ulster, please take
I'm
a
guessing
seat.
if Wold leaves, then he'd be like, "Hey, boss," and like high fives when
Hello,
he
Wold.
leaves.
Yeah, he would give you a high five. I always hate being on the other end of these things.
Feels a little like poetic justice. After what you put my team through.
Let's hold the justice thing until you have the killer, even if it is poetic stuff.
More of a turn of phrase than anything else.
I'm aware.
Well, you know how this works. Can you state your name, please?
that I can. Mr. Ulster.
Your full name, please.
Do I have to?
Yes.
Renfrew Ulster.
And your age, Mr. Ulster.
Don't read into that.
I'm reading into that.
Don't read into that.
He's lying about
You
his-
cannot let... That's metagaming.
My character hit the dice.
That was his brain cells clattering around his head.
He's being
Says
impersonated.
Cortlant. I'm getting a no from the name.
Well, now that we've had
Sally?
people getting surgeries and stuff,
I would like you to please send guards down to the interrogation room. I would like to pull out
it's
my
not
own
Mission
laser.
Impossible where they pull the mask off and it's
What
Tom
are you
Cruise.
doing? Okay, that's not my birth name. Don't just pull out a gun because someone goes by an alias.
That's the old
Fine.
It's off
Your name.
its
super
Neos.
specific.
John.
No, we're like at a
weird.
Mission Impossible moment, guys.
John Lister.
Wait, who's
Big Don.
I look back at Cortland.
That's correct. I guess.
Big John the trash man wants us all dead.
so he can?
I'm gonna lower the gun and put it away.
It's in my trash room. I can't let them ice my trash room.
Are you now, or have you ever been a member of the Brotherhood of Steel?
Never.
Is there a thumbs up?
Yes, there is.
You looked away with the thumbs up happened.
Because she was looking like where he
really
would
funny.
be sitting, but that was where you were. Anyway.
Have you ever engaged with technology meant to obscure your appearance or make you appear like someone else?
That's a good one. No.
I would look back.
Everyone just says, I'm gonna need more info.
Are you or have you ever met? I'm trying to remember what his real name was. What Bellamy's real name was.
I don't think his first name has ever been listed. DaCosta is his last name. Paladin DaCosta.
Are you or have you ever interacted with one Paladin DaCosta? Or I would say his correct title.
Mm-hmm. No. Though I have interacted with, well, Star Paladin Abercorn, of course.
Are you aware of the technology the Brotherhood of Steel uses to... Actually, I suppose it was just DaCosta, wasn't it, that uses that technology? Or was it Brotherhood in general?
DaCosta uses it, but Brotherhood is in possession of it.
All right. Has DaCosta ever shared with you the technology that he uses that he and the Brotherhood use to obscure their appearances?
No. If you're asking if I have changed my appearance at all, no, I haven't had plastic surgery. It's just a name change, that's it.
I'm not asking about plastic surgery. I'm asking, has there been any reason for you to disguise yourself?
It's a dangerous wasteland.
Did the summit provide you a reason to disguise yourself?
No. I am the same Ulster you always know, and I'm still in debt for you for repairing that vending machine.
Dun, dun.
Although I'm still rather cross that you quit. We gave you good pay. You probably could have gotten another paycheck if you just communicated with us more often.
The
The rest
truth
of
comes
my
out.
the rest of my team may have been in for the pay, but I think you know that wasn't why I was there.
I know.
Cortland, are you satisfied about the line of inquiry, or would you like us to circle back?
No, I think that suffices.
All right.
Are we here?
no?
Okay.
so-
You guys made an agreement not to
Yeah.
triple time.
Yep.
Apologies for the delay. I'm sure you can see the reason for that line of inquiry. Please state your opinion of the summit.
I think this summit has a lot of potential, and it's reminded me of why I picked
your team. This was Mr. Delroy's dream. Was, well, an organization of non-violence for once, to stop fighting wars so that proper trade can begin again. And Delroy trade lines could have roots throughout the Midwest. What you all are doing, I surely hope, will accomplish that.
That's my hope too. Did you interfere with that plan by poisoning the snack cakes delivered to the Union?
I did not.
Did you ask anyone else on your behalf to poison those cakes?
I did not.
Who do you suspect did poison the cakes and why?
I suppose I'm going to apply Occam's razor here and just say that it was the mob. It is their way of things. And if anyone affords standing in the way of progress, it is either the mob or possibly the Brotherhood of Steel. Although I hope that calmer heads would prevail on an organization dedicated to preserving society. The mob has no such morals.
You mentioned this to me before, but I would like it to be on the record. Who exactly knew that you were delivering snack cakes to the summit?
No one until before the summit itself.
Who would have known about the snack cakes before the boxes were boarded up or were nailed?
Kevin. And me.
And you're entirely certain that that's it?
We labeled the boxes. There could have been any other DTL employee that might have decided to poison them.
Did you label the boxes before or after they were sealed?
The cakes themselves or the boxes?
The boxes.
Kevin would have to answer that one. I don't know.
All right. In the time between when you decided to bring the cakes to the summit and when the boxes were boarded up, who had access to your warehouse?
It would be quite the long list.
Who outside of Delroy Trade Lines had access to your warehouse?
No one. We guard it. It's got quite a few supplies that many raiders or thieves might want to pillage. Pilfer.
Just reminding, the box was opened once, so once it was closed, it wasn't opened until it came there.
Until it...
So that once they sealed the box,
It
it
wasn't,
wasn't
opened
opened until
it
it
got here.
arrived here.
Right, and we're saying that because of the timing of the poison, you saw that it was more than a few hours old. So it couldn't have been done after the box was opened at the summit. So it had to have been before that it was poisoned. Where did you receive the snack cakes from?
Well, unfortunately, part of that is a bit of a trade secret.
Plot
We found ourselves a rather vast stash of them somewhere in the Midwest.
So these were directly, let's say, discovered and taken by Delroy Trade Lines representatives. There was no third party involved.
Not anymore. No, that was a joke. Yes, just DTL representatives. Similar to Buster's chocolate that he aims to keep such a secret.
Or Julian's strawberry scented shampoo.
Da-da-da-da.
Or these mutant strawberries.
Or Wold's extreme amount of mushrooms.
Is there anything regarding the poisoning or the summit that you are hiding from this investigative body?
No. I'm sorry, I meant to be doing this with everyone. Might want to press. Does everyone?
Mr. Ulster, it seems that you're hiding something from us right now. It would be easier for everyone involved if you would come out and say what that is.
Trust me, you have everything you need to know.
I'm not sure I believe that.
Well, I've given my answer, have I not?
You have, and the polygraph has not shown its veracity.
Polygraphs are quack science.
Not admissible in court.
Something I use to scare people.
Sounds like something someone would say when trying not to answer the question.
Start ripping.
Oh, I've already told you. No. I answered the question.
Sounds like someone not wanting to clarify, then.
I don't. What clarification can a man give on the word no?
Why, it's a lie.
Well, I'm afraid it isn't.
I've already asked you if you or your men had any direct involvement in the poisoning. Did you have any indirect involvement?
As in, I ordered someone to poison the Union cakes.
I'm going to keep the question broad. Did you have any indirect involvement in the poisoning of the cakes?
I did not.
Were you aware that the cakes were going to be poisoned?
No.
Were you in any way planning on disrupting this summit?
Well, aside from giving my 2 cents, no.
Little meta talk, what am I missing here?
I know that this is maybe not a big thing. I know there was at one point question before he mentions I didn't, which might just be Spencer clarifying and just talking normally, or it might be him secretly, like a GM, sneaking in. Well, I didn't, but I think we've kind of covered that. It feels like we're being a dead horse.
I know.
Yeah.
It seems to be that there's something missing, and I think we're not going to learn it here.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
trying
getting.
to figure out because he's obviously hiding stuff.
There's something he's hiding.
I feel like I've asked all
Why-
the categories that could have
Did
revealed
you
that
ask
to
anything
us.
about why he changed his name?
Oh, I suppose
Yeah.
I didn't.
Ask about his identity and
Also, the project, or not the project name, the project name and Minos' name. What were those? One more time.
Operation Bard, and
Urbanstein.
yes,
Okay.
I believe Harry, either Henry or Harry. I don't remember off the top of my head.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Ulster. Now, a couple more before we have you head out. Do you have any familiarity with Project Bard or one Harry Urbanstein?
Sorry, I'm just going through DTL's immense payroll list. Not that I'm aware of, no.
And that's registering as true as well when I look back.
What's that?
And if I look back at Cortland.
Yep, thumbs up
See,
from him.
it's a good thing that Jonas is not the one doing the polygraph right now because he doesn't know that I know.
Mm-hmm.
I have one more question. Did we talk about it?
I think the only thing that I had was
The name. The name, the
we
name,
al-
the name.
Yeah.
The name, and we also were wondering about any
enemies or people that
enemies
would,
of Ulster that would.
that would want to mess with him. I think there was.
It's just an extra thread that'd be
Sure.
nice to close.
I think
off.
I also had travel time for like them arriving, but I
Mhm.
don't think that's important. So
Yeah, like exactly when were the boxes sealed? But he said Kevin, so we have to ask Kevin.
Right.
yeah, okay, that's Kevin.
All right. One theory that's been raised is that the mob's been framed. Another is that you've been framed. Do you think that anyone else here at this summit would have an interest in framing you, and who?
Or someone in his business. That could be a follow-up question.
No, I feel as though DTL is supposed to be probably one of the most well-trusted organizations here. I doubt the Brotherhood would do it. We are on neutral terms with them, but I doubt they would do anything to decrease that further. The mob would be the largest candidate for that. Though they specialize in chems, they sell other things that we compete on. Firearms, supplies. And they've harassed quite a few of our caravans.
That's helpful. Thank you. Now, for the record, can you please state why you changed your name?
I believe
Especially
that's-
when you consider the new name so worthy of embarrassment as not wanting to state it in a polygraph.
I believe that is a personal matter, and I wish not to discuss it.
Does it have any bearing on our investigation?
No.
Is that ringing as true if I look back? I'm assuming you're telling me if there's any.
Yes. If you're not getting a thumbs down, you're getting an implicit thumbs up. This one Cortland did a check. I prefer to pull you aside, but I suppose he's probably going to know this. Julian, I think he's playing the polygraph. The answer is he's saying. The fact that he was totally convinced. One of the most true things I've said according to the measurements is that he believes this thing is quack science.
Mr. Ulster,
Yes.
I think that in retrospect, this may not have been the best way to run an interrogation with you specifically, considering your deep familiarity with the technology. I would
so.
like to run a repeat of the same questions. You're welcome to give the same answers with a different method.
A different method than a polygraph.
Yes.
Truth serum.
No.
That's the wrong answer. You lose a finger.
If you'll excuse me for a minute, and I'm going to step
Someone
out
looks
into the
really
hall.
pitiful and is like, "You wouldn't lie to me. I'm just a little guy."
Just have Margie be like,
I'm going to step
you
out
being
into the
mean?
hall.
Did you do it? That would be
She's like,
so
"My
sad.
My dad left me. Please don't make
I
me.
think we're
My dad's in
gonna provide
jail.
assistance.
Can Pip listen into what's happening in the
Or we
room
can
while
have
I'm
your
gone
sensory
through the lie
syringes under
detector
your
since he interfaces with that?
If
Wrong
you hooked up your Pip-Boy to it, which you probably would have. then
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, because she
Okay.
said she was going to send like a recording / transcript to other people.
So, yeah, I would step out of the room and I would use my pager and say, Sally, could you send Nicodemus up here and could you ask him to bring his whole mentalist setup?
Okay.
Nick.
I'm not gonna
Go
use.
with like a pocket watch
I
and
like
like
that
a
this
black and white
episode's
pin,
like-
like you tell me.
Call back to all the stuff
Yeah,
that
it's
was irrelevant.
like-
Put this
It's
little
like a
helmet
little
on.
memory
Ooh,
lane
it tells me
thing.
what you're thinking. Ooh,
Then you're like,
that's a lie.
Gross
What?
as a person. I would kill this guy.
Julian, first of all, you would see that there are a couple of guards stationed
Maybe.
just in the jazz lounge,
think
which
you
you
have
requested
different
earlier.
Yep.
That's the good.
Ooh, boy, spicy! Said Sally.
She's
Sally's
eating
literally me.
She's eating this up.
That's crazy.
I
How
believe
many
you,
bring me
but
chocolate, please?
does my boyfriend believe you? Let's bring him in.
The fact
What's
you can
going
bribe
on,
her with
Jules?
chocolate and she just wants to know all the drama. Literally so.
Portland and I have come to the conclusion that Mr. Ulster is playing the system.
Like, he's lying.
Like
on
he
the
knows
polygraph.
how to lie to the polygraph to make it read like truth.
He is a psychologist.
Also, fun reminder
So I'm
that
thinking we
polygraphs
bring
are
in
not
something he's
admissible
not
in court.
expecting.
Truth serum.
That
That
doesn't
is
work.
also not a thing.
Yeah, this is not Harry
You
Potter.
could put him on a
Julian did her senior project on truth serum and why it does not work.
You know, in between all of the AI stuff, I took a little break and did a little summer
This
project.
was her
on
version
Truth
of
Serum.
I'm gonna take a fun class.
Yeah,
Everyone else is like,
it's my elective.
I mean, it's not
When
actually
your
truth serum,
siblings-
It's just, you're getting them really high.
we could, yeah, like I said, we could get really drunk.
I feel like
or
Julian's
high.
the sort that like one of her,
Sleep
like maybe Jane
deprivation?
or something, said something and she's like, I think you're lying, and she just would not let it go. And then she published an essay about truth serum and why it doesn't work, and Jane was like, whoa, I swear.
All right.
I'm not lying, I didn't take your dress.
No torture.
Out of this time, you would
Not that
see
deep, man.
Nicodemus Avransov enter. He's wearing as formal clothes as he can and has this vast-looking electronic gauntlet with wires poking out of it and bright lights. And Julian, please tell me this isn't part of the interrogation here.
It is the interrogation.
Oh, crap.
Nikki,
Now-
baby, we got bad news for you.
Before you go in there, I just need to know exactly what the capabilities are.
Not much. I mean, it's mostly just a bluff.
It's well, it's mostly just my own insight, I guess. It is a brainwave monitor, but it's not like you can read brainwaves. You can sense when people are using more activity in there, that sort of thing. But also, it really creeps people out. So people tend to be a little bit more on edge. It's a little bit more
That's
noticeable.
exactly what we need
You
for this
can't,
one.
not read memories, but you can't
Yeah, can you put him in a PIP AI
don't think-
simulator thing? And
He would need his
Can
chip,
you determine when the brain
Give him
is when the brain is differentiating between creativity and memory? Like using a baseline to determine whether
That's a great question.
like using a baseline to determine whether the creative part of the brain is making something up or recalling a memory.
That's a little too complex for this. It's mostly based off of activity. Memory generally requires less, and creativity generally requires more, unless it's something he's committed. She? Who are we grilling? He has committed something to memory.
He said the word
humans
grilling
can
and now I want a
literally
hot
convince
dog.
themselves of things that are not true if you're desperate enough because your memory is
Yeah,
actually
That's
so
it.
reliable.
I think the whole point of this this second interrogation here is going to be shake things up to shake the power or the control that I think he's feeling right now. In light of that, I'd also like you to evaluate the results of the first interview and conduct the second one.
We should throw in other things to throw him off. Margie, power armor, bikini over the power armor.
Good cop, wacky cop?
He's like, I'm sorry, I
What is
cannot
this?
focus on lying. What is happening?
No, I saw this
Gotcha.
this Instagram reel where this girl makes like Optimus Prime outfits and stuff, and so it was like a bikini. She was like summer outfit, and then it was just over the cardboard Optimus Prime like whole entire bodysuit.
Nicodemus,
It was
if you
quite funny.
can hook up my I can't talk today. If you can hook up my Pip Boy to your machine, Pip should be able to help you analyze the results.
Okay. Where is it?
It's in there. You hooked it up to the polygraph.
It's in there with the polygraph at the moment. Joy Buzzer's engaged, right?
What's that?
No one's picking it up.
No.
He's
Yeah,
engaged.
Joy Buzzer's
Oh my gosh,
engaged. Don't worry.
congratulations.
They'll zap anyone.
You tell him.
So
Okay.
what's our play?
Just
What's our play here?
what do you mean? What's our play?
Like, what exactly are we telling him? How are we gonna try to get him to tell us the truth with this?
I think we try to convince him that this has the capability of being able to tell either way. That'll get him more worked up. I think we know
won't
he's
he-
lying
Won't he be confused why we didn't bring this out to begin with?
because we had trusted the efficacy of the polygraph up until he, in the middle of the interview, said that it was, well,
Hogwash.
hogwash, yeah. To use a Tabsism. I've already introduced the idea that we're going to run a second interrogation with a different set of technology. That part you won't need to set up. Your goal is to just keep him off balance enough that we'll be able to tell that he won't have the time to come up with the composure to manufacture his responses. That's both of your jobs.
All right.
The things he seemed to be lying about were that he has something to hide about either the summit or the poisoning. His name is not really Renfrew Ulster, and yet he's so embarrassed about his first name that he doesn't like to say it.
Like,
That
of all
leads me
the
to
names
believe that his
pick-
name wasn't chosen.
If he's gaming the system, couldn't he have lied at the beginning to throw off the?
He could have.
The-
These are just the points in the interview that we received any kind of a reading for your
So-
information.
He might have, lied, like I lied about my age in the establishment questions.
Sure. This is just when the readings were irregular.
Okay, I can be the bad cop.
Jerry's like, say no more.
Do you mind if I just be the cop with the device who doesn't ask any questions? And
That's fine.
okay, I can pull that off.
Right, so the biggest thing is you, in a sense, you're running interference on him.
Alright.
So
We'll say that.
just impress him.
We'll say this was our
Sure.
second choice because I don't have a brain plug.
Because what?
Because I don't have a brain plug.
Sure, whatever you want to come up with. The transcript of the original interview is. Oh no, the
Yeah.
mental attack doesn't require a brain plug.
Oh, okay, never mind.
It's just a glove that he puts on
someone's forehead.
Goes,
That's why it's not
He
like
really
I
just
have,
like puts
we have
on
to
a Nintendo Power Glove and goes, "Hello, what are your thoughts now?"
it looks a lot like the power
I'm
glove.
imagining
we have
like,
to shave his head
Thanos'
first?
Infinity Stone.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like,
All right, you guys ready?
Okay, so I would tell Nico the way to shut down Joy Buzzer. I would just whisper it to him so that he could plug Pippin without.
All right. Yeah. Gotcha. Are you all ready?
It's like Pip
I want her
is
to
those
tell him that
electrified
she has a
gum
joy
things.
buzzer on Pip's thing.
What?
If you're okay with that. I want her to tell him that.
I believe he heard it before when you guys were kidnapped by the
Okay, then never
Brotherhood.
mind.
Yeah.
Just I saw the beginning of that scene earlier and I was like, oh, but okay, that works.
All right, we're going.
Okay. You enter the room. You see Courtlant still in there, just hands on the desk next to the polygraph, and he's just kind of looking at Ulster.
Oh, hello, Ulster.
Dr. Fletcher. It's good to see you again.
Well, it's good to see you too. Wish it was under better circumstances. I'm going to be conducting the interview this time, if you don't mind.
Oh.
If
As
do
far as I'm
mind-
aware, your wasteland doctorate isn't in psychology, but what is that?
You're a psychologist, right?
That is correct. Not that
Well-
I got a doctorate myself. Not
Well-
that that's an option.
There is a bit of a debate on whether the mind is more matter or something else entirely. But you can't argue that certain element of the brain is very squishy.
Is this a threat?
No. See, this machine, the brain does different things. Now, you're a psychologist, not a brain surgeon. This device will allow us to tell not exactly the truth or the untruth, but whether your brain is making something up or recalling an actual memory.
Roll a persuasion check.
Do. Use the thing.
Yeah, please,
Well, we
please
have it.
use the caps.
Yeah.
That was a lot of dice, Spencer. Why was that so many dice?
Because I have a pool.
Really
I am going to
should not meta think that. I'm not going to meta think
I got 3 successes. Should I re-roll one?
Yeah, he rolled a lot of dice, man.
I'm going to re-roll one using a luck point.
Nah, joke's on you. I only rolled 3 die.
What?
I only rolled 3 die. But you used it. No take
Yeah,
backs.
I'm going to do it
It
anyway.
sounded like a lot of dice.
Still only 3. 3 successes.
One action point back.
Yes, Jerry!
There are truly strange things in the wasteland.
That's my boyfriend you're talking about.
Yeah, Nico would just... Shall I proceed, Doctor?
Yes, go ahead.
And he's going to put the glove on Ulster.
It turns out
This is humiliating.
Well, don't worry. We didn't have to shave your head for this procedure. With the older model, we did.
So what, Dr. Fletcher? You go from practicing medicine in Lansing to making mind-reading devices?
First of all, I grew up in a vault. And I experimented with a lot more than just medicine.
Yeah, you experimented with chems.
And with people.
What's happening?
Yes. All right, ask your questions.
All right. He's gonna look down at his Pip-Boy. All right. What's your name? Your real name?
Renfrew Ulster.
He's gonna look over at Nick.
No.
What's your real name?
John Lister.
John Lister.
John or Dawn?
John.
John
I thought he was
Lister.
Big Dawn.
Why did you change your name?
Not important to your current investigation.
Everything's important to my investigation right now.
Well, I am, despite what this glove might do, in control of my own mind. So no,
I don't think you are. Why did you poison those cakes?
I did not. I see what you're doing here. Nico's going to say, activity. I did not poison those cakes.
Who did then?
I don't know. Nico just gives you a bump.
I'm going to ask you again. Why did you poison the cakes?
That's the first time you've asked that question. You asked me, did I poison the cakes? Get your story straight, Doctor.
No, the first time I asked, why did you poison the cakes?
Ah,
He flustered.
if
He's like, you think I poisoned you?
if you get this guy out of the room, I'll tell you what I know.
No,
Scared
I
of
don't.
that glove.
Who is he referring to?
Nico.
Nico?
Yeah.
I don't know what he's
No, I'm keeping this guy.
Well, then I will not be saying anything else. Thank you.
That tells me everything I need to know. Oh, one more thing. How did you reseal the packaging? You opened it and then resealed it.
How long is his hair?
What?
How long is his hair?
Oh, that's right.
I'm just imagining that Don Lister had really curly hair, and Renfrew Ulster does not.
I'd also like to ask,
Straightener.
why didn't you pay us?
Cakes.
I mean, yeah.
I paid you more caps than any other job in the wasteland other than hitman for the mob.
I know, for the first half of our employment.
I thought you were dead.
You didn't think to check?
I did. You were never responding on that frequency. This isn't some message system like teletype. I was broadcasting on a frequency that you all were never listening to.
You could have reached out to some of your other friends in the wasteland.
But at this, you get a little activity. My what? You were in Illinois. There's no Delroy Trade Lines representative there.
I know, but there's other people that you could have been in contact with. I don't know.
There. Listen, I'll tell you what I know. Just get this stupid device off of me. That is me trying to cut a deal. You should be able to trust that at least.
Efforts of like,
All right. Here's the deal.
make him stop.
You tell me everything that you know. You tell me your name. You quit hiding the information that you don't want us to know. Otherwise, this guy comes back in.
All right.
All right, Nico.
Yeah.
He should do a little like nose flick.
Everett's like, I will literally tell you anything. Get him out. I don't even care anymore.
Well, first of all, I want to let you know that I don't even think that was doing anything. It's just creepy having a hand on a forehead. Secondly, good job. Bravo. You completed your role perfectly.
Which is?
The good doctor, as always. Now, I'm going to spell out everything I know, and it would benefit you all immensely and the goals of this summit if you heard me out to the end.
He's like, hear me out. Hear me out.
Is that understood?
I take it you're not pleased with the summit.
I am pleased with the summit.
Not for its success, though.
Yes, for its success. What I said earlier to Miss Ortega was entirely true. I believe that we have the ability to bring the wasteland together like it has never been brought together before, fostering a new era of prosperity, peace, and of business.
You mentioned, I see in the transcript of the previous interview, that you said you saw this summit as a great opportunity.
Indeed, for what I just said. I believe
Something tells me, just with how vague you're being, that it's not quite as straightforward as it would first seem. The way you're phrasing words.
the great payoff here is indeed
unity. But I think there's an obstacle to that. And that obstacle is, of course, the mob. The fact that you are trying to get to the voice of the wasteland here and bringing in a bunch of armed thugs as part of it. Right now, you have everything you need to bring the mob down in the Midwest. Every component. That was your intention, after all. Just a certain ghoul with a certain brother in a certain town in Ohio. I knew that you rabble-rousers would get something stirred up. Didn't think getting rid of, well, Nelson Polignani was going to be part of it. But results were far greater than I expected. That is the other goal of the summit. You can show the rest of the wasteland what the mob really is. And cast them out before you bring this vision into sight. Surely, Doctor, you don't want the mob as a part of this, do you?
Oh no, of course not. I'm just wondering how you got the poison. Did you get it from the mob, or did you break into the room and steal a little bit? I know this was done before the summit. I'm just curious at this point.
I don't think that's important to the aims of this conversation. Right now, you all are faced with a choice, with a very clear answer. You tell the rest of the wasteland what you know, and you lose the biggest company in the wasteland. Logistics, supplies, routes, networks.
No, just its leader.
What's that?
Just its leader. Sorry, meta. I'm not here.
Aren't
He
you?
just comes in through the wall.
Well,
Oh, wait, no, never mind.
Not unless you
Yeah.
let me come in after Nico left.
Oh, okay. No, never
Group
mind.
chat
Yeah.
got opened up or something.
Nope.
Group FaceTime? Oh.
Ulster's still in here, right? Or not Ulster,
Cortland.
Yes, Cortland is still in here, and he's
Yeah.
Whoa. Tea?
The tea is exceptionally good today.
I'll have to discuss this with Julian.
Now, hold on. The walls have ears, and right now, you could. I trust Miss Ortega to make the right decision here. Mr. Courtland, first of all, you're welcome. I sent these people after you to save you from those Germans, I hear. Second off, speaking to the Brotherhood explicitly, I'm sure you want the mob gone as well. It would be only to your gain. To make sure that none of this information leaves this room. Or goes only a few ears to the people that it matters. I am excited to see that the mob hasn't planted any mole within you all. That is as part of this conversation.
Of course.
Doctor, could I ask what's on your mind now?
Just trying to read you. I wouldn't have expected this kind of a plan from you. Wasn't a very good one.
But it could be amazing. I have full confidence in the selections that I made. It does hinge on you. That's true.
And on our friend here at the Brotherhood.
Oh, I trust the Brotherhood. I trust the Brotherhood's hatred of the mob. I remember when It was just a few tin cans in Chicago, trying to return to their vast empire they once had, only to be kicked out by a young and ambitious Nelson Polignani. I know they hold a grudge. This is a way to do it in a democratic fashion, albeit a sly one. I've had my fill of letting the mob play dirty. But no, my intention was never to harm. I knew there was an excellent doctor at the summit. No harm would be done.
Did you have an antidote at least?
I had you. And I had full confidence in you, Doctor.
Cortland, would you care to speak with me in private?
Yeah. Yep. And
Jerry's
they would exit the...
Jerry's gonna look at Ulster and just wink at him and then walk out.
Okay.
Like a
Like a scheming
like a
wink.
seductive.
No, a scheming wink. Okay.
I'm super into people with aliases.
Well, we got a
It's
confession.
like super cool.
We did.
What are your thoughts on his offer, Cortland?
Well, I don't know the guy too well, but... I mean... No one did die. I think if anyone's going to jeopardize the peace that we could have, it might be the mob. They might be planning something as we speak. Could I ask you a question, Jerry?
Yeah.
Who's that woman on the Enclave delegation? I met everyone in the Enclave when I was down there with you all. I don't recognize her.
Which one?
Not Julian. Cat eye glasses. Beehive hairdo. I don't
Yeah.
remember her name.
Yeah, she was on the helicopter mission, doing recon up at Right Pat, or no, not Right Pat. What was the
Sawyer.
What was the
Sawyer Air Force
Sawyer.
Base.
Roll a deception check.
I just accepted Right Pat so fast though.
Tell me you live
like,
in
yeah,
Ohio
yeah.
without telling me you live in
No,
Ohio.
you guys
Yeah,
passed
that's the
it.
one.
Okay, 3 successes.
That's 2. Okay. He believes you.
Talk with Julian first before leasing anything.
Oh, I planned on it. And Jerry's gonna go find the others.
Okay. Yeah, they're all still in the jazz lounge, I believe.
Whew.
How'd it go?
Got a confession.
Oh.
He did it.
Oh.
You have that on recording?
Yeah,
Not technically.
not technically.
He was very keen to never admit anything.
Oh.
He just said
Yeah.
things like, no one
Oh.
died, and
Yeah.
I mean, he
Still-
he admitted by.
What we talked
Well,
about.
I said the way I was talking, I was trying very hard
Lack
to
of
say like,
denial.
"Oh, did you at least have an antidote?" And he said, "I had you."
So he
just-
never said like I did.
He never
it,
said
but
I did it.
We
but
recorded
in
it.
the
That's what
in
it
the
said.
wasteland law,
Yep.
that's it amounts to a confession.
It's pretty clear.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I plead the
Yeah.
fifth, and I'm like,
Uh-huh.
there is no fifth. We're in the wasteland.
Innocent until
Here's-
proven guilty.
there's a
This is the
complication.
wasteland. We can just kill you.
government
Yeah.
dissolved
There's
15
a-
minutes ago.
Wait, there's a what?
There's a complication.
That means Double Jeopardy's back on the
He
menu.
did it to frame the mob because he thinks the mob is the biggest obstacle to this summit succeeding.
The mob isn't the one who poisoned someone.
I know. I'm not suggesting a course of action right now. I'm saying what he said. He said, and he's going to summarize. Essentially, he wants us to blame the mob for this, get rid of the mob, because unite the wasteland against the mob, and then we can be rid of the mob and move on, peace, kumbaya.
Sounds like something the Enclave would do.
It does. Cortland also seemed interested.
Interested how?
Are we all in here for this?
Yep.
I brought him out to discuss it, and he sounded like he was rationalizing it, how it's for the better good in his mind.
I think the
I
the
would be
biggest
down
threat
to-
to the summit.
I would be down to do it, but we also have Zinnia. That could, you know.
And again, the mob has done nothing wrong.
I mean,
That's a bold
In the
statement.
context of the summit.
maybe
Yes,
this
in that.
evening, but historically,
I mean, if we wanted to stoop to it, I could slip a little extra poison, kill Zinnia, and blame the mob for
Doctor.
that too, but I'm not going to do that.
No. The biggest threat to the summit isn't the mob, and it isn't even Ulster. It's the idea of some of us conspiring against the others. If we can't trust
Yeah.
the other members of this summit to be honest, then
I know, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying the only way we can do this is by killing Zinnia.
I don't see how that follows.
No, I'm
Like,
saying
I just don't like her.
the only way we could, frame the mob for this would be if we killed Zinnia.
I don't think we framed the mob. I think
I
that's
know,
setting the entire alliance up on a
I know.
Faulty
I know,
foundation.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Saying I don't think it would work. And I don't think it would be the best move.
I don't think he's right. I don't think we lose all of DTL if we don't go through with his plan. I think we just lose him, and he's scared of that. Buster wouldn't agree with this. That much I know. I don't know Donaldson myself. And he's no fan of you. But if he's anywhere near a good man, he wouldn't either. I think it'd be easy enough for the confession you've got on your pet boy to oust Ulster.
And
Or
Yeah.
Lister.
they're a business, so ultimately they care about keeping open relations.
Also, I did not tell Ulster. I did not tell him he could leave the interrogation room.
Mm-hmm.
We're
so-
assuming that guards are.
So I'm
Yeah.
assuming that
He's
still
guarded,
there.
under guard. Yep.
He's still in the interrogation room if we want to grab him.
At about this time, you would see Conductor Wenton enter the jazz club, reading information off of a Pip Boy. Who's running this interrogation?
The doctor, most lately.
Yeah. What's up?
What's up? You have your culprit,
Yes, we do.
the mob.
That's incorrect.
Ulster did it.
We've got the confession on the doctor's pit boy.
Wait, this is the.
This is
militia guy.
this is the union member.
Oh, the union member.
Yep.
Okay.
I think someone sent.
You saw the. Did you see the last? And is he getting all of the?
I'm out of game. I'm not sure what he's received.
yeah, wait.
He's
how-
received a live feed, as you promised, of
Okay.
every interrogation.
We'll just.
Did he receive the last?
Can I see
Confession?
the last one? Make sure it's correct with the data we have.
I presume you want to use this opportunity to deal with the mob.
I have 7 people I have known that have died by mob snipers. I would not have done what this Ulster has done.
You hear as he exhales through the gas mask.
Do you require any assistance?
With what?
What have you decided?
Oh, well, hear me out before you say anything. We need to go with Ulster. I mean, not go with Ulster, but we need to out Ulster as the culprit here. Not because we don't want to deal with the mob, but because the mob will give you plenty more opportunities to justify a cause or justify a unification against them in the future. Ulster has showed tonight that he's a snake, and he's a smart man. He'll learn from his mistakes tonight, and If he tries to pull something like this again, we might not catch him.
No. He has broken a law of Xanadu.
He has.
There is only one way out of that, and that's the arena. And he looks rather frail to me.
I'm not fighting him.
The two frail.
Listen, as far as
would-
the mob goes, I think there'll be ways to deal with them more bureaucratically. We've been talking about putting together a representative council if we move forward with this plan to moderate it. If we don't move forward with this plan, I would still propose something similar for issues that that affect the whole wasteland. We could provide rules and regulations members who want to have a say in that have to follow. If the mob isn't willing to opt in, they've ousted themselves.
So what, you say that... What rules would you use to exclude the mob?
Really, any of the reasons that you're upset with them could be rules.
What we could do is essentially, once everyone's united, sort of, under this program we're planning, the mob will have to stop their activities against the other members, which we know they probably won't, which means that will give every other member a reason to all unite against them to punish them for doing so.
An honest one. One that
I
doesn't
don't-
fracture the rest of us in the meanwhile.
One that doesn't risk destroying what we're trying to build here before it can be firmly established. We need to get our roots in, and then we can deal with the mob. I want to deal with the mob as much as the next person. I hate them. But
Did we tell you
One
about the
step at
time
a
you
time.
fired a bazooka at them?
well, I
He's like,
didn't
"This is coming from the bazooka
I
guy."
didn't fire it off in time, but yes, I tried to blow up their lab. It didn't work.
Surprised to see that this is where you draw the high road line. Is it just because of the stakes of the summit? The worry that this deception may be untangled?
Yeah. I don't want to risk what we're building to do something as underhanded as the Enclave of old would have done.
At the very least, we hope that shows that we have at least a bit more integrity than the old Enclave, I would hope.
Do any of you recognize the name that Ulster identified himself as?
John Lister.
No.
Yes.
Is this one of those sorts of situations where we should roll a memory check?
Yeah,
All
you
of
have
us?
seen this before. I believe all of you.
Yeah. What would this be? Intelligence or something?
Intelligence. Charisma.
Intelligence,
Oh, no.
charisma.
Intelligence speech. Sorry, my bad.
I got a 1 success.
Difficulty of. I'm trying to remember. I know one of you knows certainly. Julian, I know you have heard this before. But
Oh, wait,
Tell me what everybody
intelligence,
got.
charisma?
Yeah,
Well,
I
that
said the
depends
one
on that
whether we
depends
should
on
spend
the difficulty?
caps.
the difficulty.
Yeah.
difficulty.
All right, I'll just say I rolled 2.
Okay, it's more than 2. I'm deciding over 3 or 4
I
right
rolled
now.
1 barely, so yeah, I'm
Yeah,
out.
one.
Oh my god, I have no idea who that is.
I'll
Doc, I
choose
think
dice.
this might be you.
14. 14.
Difficulty of
Sorry,
14?
4.
14.
Doc, successes?
You want to bring us home?
Let's bring us home.
Okay, before I knew you were going to tell us the difficulty, I rolled 2 dice. Can I add in some action points?
Yes, you may. You are entitled to roll action points
Honestly,
after
if
you
want
hear
to
the
roll-
difficulty, unless I say it's hidden.
There are 3. One just fell through the cracks, so you can technically get 2 extra dice.
Wasn't that a Coke?
Actually, that was a Coke.
Oh.
It's by your feet.
Oh,
So
I see it.
actually-
All right, can I... Do you guys mind if I take 3 action
go for it.
points?
This seems
to roll?
important.
This seems important. Let's
Okay.
get this loop closed.
Plus, I think we're getting close to the end of session.
Yes.
Yeah.
Use them
Gotta
all.
use these.
Get them used.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 9, almost 9 o'clock.
Okay, that
Don't
is
be early, so-
5 successes.
Okay, 1 action point back.
Yes.
Yeah.
You've seen it on a list before.
A John
On-
list?
The black
A what?
A John list?
Was it the black notebook?
No, he's the one that wrote it.
Correct.
The list.
This was written in Nelson Polignani's little black book that Frankie copied all the details
burn
of
book.
and I believe shared with you all. I'll go ahead and read the listing for a certain Mr. Lister.
This is gonna be so satisfying. I just
John
know
and
it.
a list. His listing for Lister.
So, as you all remember, the Black Book was a little bit of like secrets and namely how to deal with these
All
people.
the teams. All the teams.
John, Mr. Lister. Kill this guy immediately.
Let's do it.
He used to be an interrogator with us, the best one we'd ever had.
I was wondering if he was part of the mob.
But he was too unpredictable. He killed my last number 2, Tony Sampson, on a whim. Poisoned him with cyanide. He's smart, some kind of self-styled psychologist, but he's erratic, panicky, and acts seemingly randomly. I don't think he has any grand plan, but he's still dangerous. Last I knew, he fled to Michigan and has probably adopted a new identity, but he knows everything on how the mob works. I don't know how he's evaded assassination, but as far as I know, he's still alive. Just shoot him. His only power comes from you not knowing who he is.
Bruh.
Well, he broke the rules, so we can
some
just
guy
go.
hired us
Jerry
to
would
roll.
relay his memory of that to everybody else.
Yeah, I believe he sent it on your Pip-Boy, so you can pull up the
John
whole...
Lister. You mean the John Lister that we should kill on sight because
Yeah. This is who
is
it
it that John Lister? Do you think?
Well, we solved our case.
Well, it looks like his poisoning is a signature move.
I would like to.
I would like to propose.
We
a
power
matter.
up and do it.
I would like
Yeah.
to tell the rest of his delegation before we
We
tell
should.
everyone else.
We should
I can't
let
believe we work for this fella.
Can't believe I work for him.
Barnes and Zinnia know
You're
before
like,
they
"I
do
quit."
anything rash. If they think we're about to accuse them, they might.
Why don't you go talk to them while I go talk to Buster and Kevin?
I'm gonna go
I'll go knock on Barnes' door.
make sure he doesn't leave.
Okay, so let's go with... you just had a scene, so let's go with Buster and Kevin.
All right, I would have asked you to transmit the confession, by the way. You
Yeah, I
proof
would've.
Transmit to who?
to me so that I can then play it for.
Okay.
So I would not.
Oh, come in.
Hey, Buster.
Oh, well, howdy. How are you all doing?
Buster.
Is the old boss man hanging up under there?
Considerably less well than I would have expected.
What? But he does those things like all the time.
Yeah, we pulled a different tactic. Seemed like he was playing the system, and it turned out he was.
Huh.
Can I play this for you? Catch you up to speed?
Yeah, sure.
I would go ahead and play the transcription.
And he would hear the whole thing and, oh, holy cow. Oh. Oh.
I know you.
This is
I know
bad.
you didn't have a part in this.
No, I wouldn't poison. Oh, I carried that thing with me from Michigan. Oh. Oh, jeez. This is bad.
Buster,
Yeah.
Ulster is trying to pressure us into framing the mob for this instead of him.
Yeah, I can hear that.
Saying Delroy Trade Lines is going to drop out. I don't think that needs to be the case.
Julian, things were already chaotic before he came in. I don't think DTL is going to survive this. This is Kevin? Kevin? Okay, what is this? Is this the Brahmin thief again? Kevin, it looks like our boss was the culprit here.
It means you're down to a delegation of 2. I don't think we have to let this stop what we're doing here or Delroy Trade Lines as a whole.
That's right. This is a chance for Delroy Trade Lines to rise from the ashes with its new CEO.
And Buster looks. I do like that.
Yeah, I think I'll leave that to you guys to figure out, but for now, are the 2 of you able to continue the delegation to speak for Delroy Trade Lines together?
Yes,
Says Kevin.
absolutely. We can still represent Delroy Trade Lines. Man, to think that monster was our president. Terrible, terrible news.
I know, and I'm sorry to hear it myself, but
You see as Kevin goes to the fridge and pulls out some champagne.
Dear.
I think I'll leave you to it. I just wanted you to know before we announce it to everyone else. I didn't want to blindside you.
Well, thanks for sharing that. We'll try our best to keep things together.
I believe you can. No.
Julian, could I have a word with you real quick? Just about Clarabelle.
Yeah, sure.
And he would head outside of the room. Oh, Julian, we need you to come back.
Delaware Trade Lines?
Yes.
What do you mean?
You're probably the only one with at least a little bit of authority to actually deserve it.
Authority? You know nobody in
Experience.
Delaware would accept me as president, even if I wanted it.
Person that found out that the boss was an assassin?
That was technically the doctor.
You don't want Jerry as your boss.
You see, he thinks of that for a brief flash.
The doctor and the mentalist here at the, here at Sam's.
He's like,
Why can't you do it, Buster? You're a man of integrity.
Because I'm 2 rungs down the ladder.
And?
You have now been promoted. You were one of my elite
Listen,
employees.
he was the executor of Mr. Delroy's estate. We have bylaws, you know. It's the next person in line in positions. It's the board. It's Kevin.
I'm not even a part of Delroy Trade Lines, and yet you're suggesting I come back and try to gun for it.
Yeah, 'cause you found him. You have experience. You're a part of this whole Orva thing. Oh man, you'd be the perfect representative for that.
Do you want the credit for this? I could tell them you're the one that figured it out.
I really think they believe that. I mean, I'm not trying to belittle myself here, but come on. Polis agent, Delroy Trade Lines agent, Enclave agent.
It's a lot of hats, Buster.
Yeah, that's true. I
I-
take it you're full on with the Enclave hat now? With the Polis hat?
I don't know where this summit is going yet. I can't give you an answer when I don't know how things are going to settle.
I don't think anyone else in your group would be CEO worthy. Do you think the doctor would come back to Lansing?
You could ask him if you're that desperate. Probably be better than Kevin.
I asked if they were trustworthy, and you said ask him. I asked him if he's trustworthy. I mean, the guy always creeped me out on my checkouts, but
He's
turn your head and cough. Okay.
He's been growing a lot. He's not. How do I describe the doctor?
Jeremy.
He's been growing a lot. He's not the worst candidate.
Okay.
But I'm not sure if it's the sort of thing he'd be looking to take on. You
Yeah.
could talk to him.
Well, does he have any business experience?
I mean, he's running his own practice.
I guess I didn't think of that as a business.
I pay him. I assumed you did too. If not, I need to have a conversation with him.
He does do a lot of charity work.
That's why he was so bad. I forgot to pay him. No.
He was always mad at me. Just writes a larger bill.
We'll see you next time, Mr. Rudeman. Mr. Rude Man.
Oh, man.
You
Okay.
can just call me Buster.
All right. Oh, I'm looking forward to DTL not going through its CEOs so fast.
Yeah,
I miss Mr. Delroy.
yeah, me too.
Should have picked a better executor, though.
Yeah, for real. I mean, if you had seen the things that Nelson Polignani said about that guy,
Yeah. What? Nine Lives, Nelson Polignani.
a little black book of ill secrets. Mr. Ulster?
where did
Mr.
you-
Lister?
Where did you get Nelson Polignani's Black Book of Secrets?
It's a long story.
Well, you owe me, Ortega. Come on. Later. After this is all done and
Your coffee.
we're all, growing corn that's the size of a death claw.
Yeah, when that's happening, I'll tell you.
Okay. I could try and gun for a promotion.
I think you'd be perfect for it.
I'd prefer it. I mean, I'd stay home a lot more often.
Listen, Buster, if you want to go that route, that's something I'd be willing to throw my weight behind, if you think I've got any.
He is now legally not allowed to continue the conversation because he would have to comment on a woman's weight.
I have this, how do I say this? Well, maybe I can just poison Kevin. Sorry, too
Poison
soon.
his steak.
Little too soon.
And this is where I
Finally
put my
didn't
poison
get
steak.
stolen.
If I had any.
All right, Buster, I'll leave you to rip. All right, Buster, I'll leave you to think through it.
Okay.
But let me know what help you need, all right?
All right. Could you ask before you spill the beans on Ulster if he still has a copy of Mr. Delroy's will? Because he never actually shared that, and
Starting to wonder if he really
plot thickens.
executed it correctly.
Yeah.
Delroy's will reads, I don't really care about weather, but
He's like, the will is do not put Ulster in charge.
don't put Ulster in charge. I really don't care about the weather.
Pretty sure
Um,
Ulster's gonna
Don't
say-
hire the local doctor. He's bad news.
And
He's
like,
just
you
like
scratch
kinda
it. It says
ugly.
do not hire Ulster. You scratched out the not part, so it says do hire Ulster.
Question.
He's
It's
like,
like,
that's what it says. That's what it says.
like Jules Ortega, spy? Question mark.
Give all my holdings to Clarabelle.
Clarabelle.
All right.
I think we might be a little past that, but you should search when you get back.
Say that again?
I think we might be a little past that. I think he'd know something's up, but you
Okay.
should search his quarters when you get back.
All right. I think he has it on him, but
Oh. Well, in that case,
Well, when
sure.
we frisk him.
Yeah, we'll take it before the blood sports.
Okay, it is a little unhinged to carry your previous boss's will on your person
but it's-
all
Yeah.
the
So then they're
time.
like, are you sure you should charge it? Read it and weep.
Okay.
You don't have the will on you.
We
All right.
You don't know what I have on me.
He heading
You
to the
have-
mob.
yes. Did you want to head to? Who were you going to?
I was gonna go talk to Barnes really quick. And
Oh,
then-
yeah.
Honestly, this could probably wait till next session. I want to talk to Barnes, and then I want to go talk to the militia.
Okay, sounds good. We can wait to do that until next session. But congratulations, you all solved it! Hooray! We will see you all not next week because it is 4th of July. Sergeant Corporal wishes you happy Independence Day. Go kill a British person
In Minecraft.
in Minecraft. We love you, British people. Okay.
What a
We will
note.
see you all in a couple of weeks.
Started by